Republican State Rep Mike Kennedy. They are mourning in Long Beach, California, where a fire captain was shot and killed in an ambush that left 2 others wounded.
A Long Beach firefighter rushing in to keep lives safe instead gave up his own. Hundreds stood and saluted. Others held flags. All stood at attention as the procession escorted veteran fire captain Dave Rosa.
That's Zorina Damji with Fox 11 TV. Police say a man at a retirement home set a fire early in the morning Monday to lure first responders. He's in jail, maybe in court later today. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
In Chicago this morning, there is a threat of thunderstorms. But for now, we'll start with the calm conditions at 5:02 on AM 560, The Answer. A pleasant good morning. I'm Mike Scott. 1 teen is dead. 3 others are wounded. It follows a shooting on Chicago's far south side. Police say 2 boys, a man and a woman, were shot late last night near 123rd and Yale. That man later died at a nearby hospital. Other 3 are in stable condition, and no one is in custody. Chicago police are investigating after 6 more were shot in the Bronzeville neighborhood. Authorities say the victims were standing in the 3900 block of Vincennes last night when someone opened fire, and police say no one is in custody in that case. No one knows for sure when the U.S. Supreme Court will decide a landmark case involving public sector unions in Illinois. Governor Bruce Rauner is staying in Washington, D.C. to see if the court will decide on the Janus case today. The case deals with a state of Illinois worker who says fair share dues for public sector union workers are inherently political and violate his constitutional rights. The partner of Chicago police officer Robert Rialmo is cooperating. A key part of his account, the deadly shooting of Quintonio LeGrier. Officer Anthony Palmero testified yesterday that LeGrier rushed at them with an aluminum baseball bat before Rialmo shot the teen on the west side in 2015. Palermo's testimony came in the trial of that wrongful death lawsuit stemming from the shooting. Meantime, it was announced yesterday that Rialmo withdrew his lawsuit against the city as well. 2 Chicago principals are removed from their positions as CPS officials investigate how administrators handled sex abuse allegations. Simeon High Principal Dr. Sheldon House and Good STEM Academy Principal Armando Rodriguez were both relieved of their duties yesterday. This morning, the investigation continues into a hit-and-run crash over the weekend that killed a local high school softball coach in Oswego. Investigators believe a driver took off after striking Amanda Stanton Sunday near Plainfield Road and Plainsman Court. Detectives are searching for a silver or gray Chrysler Pacifica with front-end damage. Stanton was the popular head softball coach at Oswego High for the past 3 years. Chicago police are questioning a person of interest who walked off with a 2-year-old boy on the near west side. Authorities say a family acquaintance took the child last night near Harrison and Jefferson when his mother was distracted. The young boy was reunited with his family about 20 minutes later after police jumped in and located the child. The person who walked off with the child has been taken into custody for questioning. The State Department of Health says it's seeing more of those cases of bleeding among those who use K2 or fake pot. AM 560's Dave Stewart has the new numbers.
More than 160 people in 15 counties have developed severe bleeding symptoms after using the drug, commonly known as Spice or K2. Public health spokeswoman Melanie Arnold says most of the latest batch of new cases are in Winnebago County.
Whether they are part of this batch or part of another batch, in general, synthetic cannabinoids are not safe, and if residents have a problem stopping using synthetic cannabinoids, we encourage them to get help through a substance use treatment program.
The local treatment center can be found on the new state website, helplineill.org. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
Developers are revealing some new plans for redevelopment of Chicago's Union Station. Riverside Investment Development and Convexity Independent candidates filed their campaign paperwork yesterday. West Central Illinois State Senator Sam McCann of Galesburg. And you've driven under them for years, decades. Likely Oasis bridges on the tollway. Well, there's one that may come down very soon. The Oasis Bridge that spanned the tri-state near O'Hare may be coming down after nearly 6 decades of use. Tribune says the Tollway Board will consider that at its Thursday meeting. That plan will include demolishing the entire O'Hare Oasis in Schiller Park as part of the ongoing I-294 expansion project. 4 years ago, the Des Plaines Oasis over the Jane Addams was torn down as well. Cubs manage only a ninth-inning sac fly by Javi Baez in a 2-1 loss to the Dodgers in L.A. Yu Darvish feeling sore after a minor league rehab start, but he did strike out 5 over 5 innings of one-run ball for Class A South Bend. White Sox welcome the Twins tonight for the start of a 3-game set. The news, a service of Unbound.org. A more peaceful, healthy world happens one person at a time. Around the globe, there are children who dream of helping their families, who hope for the future, and who have a name. Know the person you're helping directly at Unbound.org. 5:08. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
It's become a summer tradition. Rockin' for the Troops returns this summer on July 14th at Northwestern Medicine Field in Geneva, home of the Kane County Cougars. Don't miss this year's lineup featuring Seventh Heaven, Ayla Brown, Rocky Lynn, The Voices, and Ryan Weaver. Proceeds will benefit Operation Support Our Troops America. Get your tickets today at rockinforthetroops.org. That's rockinforthetroops.org.
She seems happier. Her fur is so much shinier, silkier, softer. She has really mellowed a lot.
Sheba is 105 lean pounds of shiny, smooth, happy dog for life.
The shedding is stopped. The itching is stopped.
Since 2001, we've helped more than 250,000 dogs get over their nutritional deficiency miseries.
And saved our customers bazillions in vet bills.
Everything we tried failed except the Dinovite.
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
The omega-3 fatty acids,
flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa,
the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
Dinovite is nutrition.
Dinovite for life.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dinovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. I was reading an article the other day that the average American homeowner has over $16,000 in high interest rate credit card debt. Every morning you wake up and you work so hard to get ahead, but by the end of the month, you're just barely getting by. Then when things pop up like new tires, medical bills, school supplies, a laptop, it ends up on the credit cards. Well, the good news is if you're a homeowner, there's never been a better time to do a cash out refinance. Your home is going up in value quicker than it has over the last 10 years. And mortgage rates are still near these all-time low levels. Cash out loans are some of our favorites. Honestly, they really are, because those are the ones that make the greatest impact in a person's financial situation. Those are the loans where we're saving people $500, $1,000, even $2,000 a month. If you do have some credit cards, write them down. Get an idea of how high the balances are, how high the interest rates are, and then apply for a cash-out refinance today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert, LLC, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee.
Smokers, are you one of the millions of people who want to quit smoking because of health problems, expenses, or maybe you're just tired of the smell of smoke on your clothes and breath? Transform your life now with new Sig-Free Smartband. Sig-Free is an automated wearable smartband for smokers who want an all-natural, healthy, and affordable non-nicotine, non-invasive solution to quitting. Sig-Free is a technology-driven solution, freeing you from the dangers of smoking without doctor's exams or the side effects of drugs and nicotine replacement products. Just wear Sig-Free, answer your phone, and listen to your self-help messages. Your friends and family will love you for it, and they'll smell the difference. Become Sig-Free, and you can tell everyone, I morphed from a smoker to a healthier non-smoker.
For more information, go to imorphed.com. That's imorphed.com. imorphed.com. imorphed.com.
5:12. Let's get an update on the roads, and we do that in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike. In Elgin, McClelston, past Foster, you are seeing traffic at 5, but only on the right shoulder. More peaceful, healthy world happens one person at a time around the globe. There are children who dream of helping their families, who hope for the future, and who have a name. Know the person you're helping directly at unbound.org. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answers starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Flash flood watch in effect from 1 p.m. this afternoon and through late tonight. Mostly cloudy and humid today with thunderstorms strong late in the day, which could bring flash flooding and damaging winds, high 79. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 68 degrees, 64 along the lakefront, 69 at Midway, and 69 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Day 2 of Red Hen. And Sarah Huckabee Sanders was back at work yesterday holding her first White House press briefing since she and her party were shooed out of Red Hen. And
they actually went to a restaurant across the street then.
Yeah, and
were treated fine and fairly.
But Mike Huckabee said that the proprietor and some of the patrons sort of followed them to the next restaurant.
Oh my!
So the whole
with signs.
Well, I don't know. They had time.
Make a sign. Who's got a Sharpie and some cardboard?
But so because the characterization of the left was, this is no big deal, and the owner handled it very politely and discreetly, and then there's other story. I can't verify it, but it was reported that actually the proprietor and some other patrons sort of chased them to the next restaurant they went to after they were thrown out of Red Hen.
Right, yeah. He said that, the owner organized a group of people to yell and scream at them at the other restaurant.
Sure. I mean, nothing like rounding up a posse for dinner. Jeez. Sarah Sanders saying this to the
We
press
want money
corps.
for our cheese board.
Many by now have heard that I was asked to leave a restaurant this weekend where I attempted to have dinner with my family. My husband and I politely left and went home. I was asked to leave because I work for President Trump. We are allowed to disagree, but we should be able to do so freely and without fear of harm. And this goes for all people regardless of politics. Some have chosen to push hate and vandalism against the restaurant that I was asked to leave from. A Hollywood actor publicly encouraged people to kidnap my children. And this weekend, a member of Congress called for people to push back and make clear to those serving their country in this administration that they are not welcome anywhere, anytime, for anything. Healthy debate on ideas and political philosophy is important, but the calls for harassment and push for any Trump supporter to avoid the public is unacceptable. America is a great country, and our ability to find solutions despite those disagreements is what makes us unique.
Well, I don't know how to break this to you, Sarah, but
what?
No justice, no peace.
Oh,
now, no justice, no sleep. Maxine Waters, she does not agree.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd and you push back on them.
Yeah, and she wants the public targeting of the Trump administration.
She does, but she came forward late last night and apologized, and we'll get it for you shortly, but saying, oh, I didn't mean any, I meant no wrong by this. I didn't mean people to be violent against anybody. So she's trying to walk it back.
She didn't say violent. She said, publicly, target them in the same way that Sarah Sanders was targeted, meaning make it uncomfortable, boo them like Christian Nielsen or Pam Bondi was booed at a public place, try and shoo them, draw attention to them, shoo them out, shame them, the shame mob. That's what she means.
Yeah, but so who's in charge of restoring civility here? Because everyone, on the left, they're saying this morning, oh, it starts at the top with the president, and President Trump created all of this, that it's his fault. 312-642-5600 is our Turnkey Depot answer line. 64636, type in DA, then a quick comment.
I don't think we can even get to that question before we answer this one, which is, does Sarah Sanders belong in civil society? Is it acceptable for Sarah Sanders to be treated with respect in civil society because, she's the White House press secretary? This was a topic. I'm not kidding.
Are you kidding me?
This was a topic that was kicked around that intolerable program, Morning Joe, where you had Mika. She is half of the duet of Jika.
Joka?
You say Joka, I say Jika. NBC's Elise Jordan, who apparently is a reporter.
I've never heard of her.
This is interesting because, I know reporters are these superhuman objective beings who have no opinions, but Elise Jordan does. She was asked if Sarah Sanders belongs in civil society, and it's not at all clear to her that she does.
And even that Sarah Sanders had over the weekend, which is a absolutely legitimate problem, but who cares?
But it goes back to the anger over plenty of Americans know that they are being lied to constantly, and they want the truth. And should someone who lies constantly and enables the president's lies be openly welcomed in society wherever they please? Should they face any kind of social or societal pressure? I'm increasingly weighing towards yes, even though I'm all about civility. But I do think that there are choices, and Sarah Huckabee Sanders has made her choices, and she has decided to constantly give false information from that podium to the American taxpayers who are paying her salary. Donald Trump has chosen to do that. Facts matter. The context that we present the facts matter. And this is not going away because we have thousands of children who have been separated from their parents, and we don't even know the full magnitude of it.
Yeah, I think you need to let those important words from Elise Jordan, she's so cute, wash over you, and really, do a bit of soul searching before we welcome back Sarah Sanders into civil society unequivocally. Because she's a press flack for a politician, and she doesn't always give you the whole story. She's the first press secretary in history to do that.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Did you know that calling for harassment is not American? That according to Chuck Schumer. Forecast for today, thunderstorms likely. We'll have a few storms. Some may be severe. A high near 80 degrees. And then tonight, some scattered thunderstorms during the evening. Then partly cloudy overnight, a low of 68. For Wednesday, cloudy skies early, then partly cloudy in the afternoon. A great day, a high near 80 degrees. Let's get into the alarm detection systems traffic centaur. Here is a man who can use words wisely. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Try. Thanks, Amy. Good morning. Morning, Dan. In Elgin, McLean is closed between Highland and Wing Street. An update on that closure area. This is a crash. It's been there for some time now, and police say the closure of McLean will be until 8 this morning. Outbound Edens past Foster. And a multi-car collision. All lanes are blocked. Traffic gets by slowly on the right shoulder. 26 minutes and rising from Montrose to Lake Cook. Little heavy on the inbound Rye, now Roosevelt into the Burn Circle. A little heavy on the inbound Bishop Ford, Cottage Grove to Rye. The other expressways and tollways are still okay. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing mortgage? Then you need to call the most honest lender in the mortgage business, Team Hochberg. Mitch contacted the lender who loves their shiny rocket for a VA mortgage, but was overwhelmed by their ridiculously high closing costs. So he called Team Hochberg, which he should have done in the first place. Team Hochberg secured Mitch a lower rate with substantially lower closing costs. When securing a VA loan, you can contact the largest online lender who spends millions promoting their rocket, or you can contact Team Hochberg for lower rates and closing costs. When securing a VA loan, you can call the online lender who loves spending millions promoting their rocket by charging borrowers ridiculously high closing costs. Or you can call a trusted local lender, Team Hochberg. Here is the number, 312-751-1333. They value the sacrifices you made to our country, and they've substantially lowered closing costs and interest rates. Team Hochberg, 312-751-1333, or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee 4358, NMLS 191186.
One of the least glamorous pieces of the puzzle in a construction or home improvement project is getting rid of the waste. It's definitely the last thing contractors or homeowners want to deal with, but it's a necessity. Getting affordable dumpster service quickly to a construction site can be difficult, but it doesn't have to be. For hassle-free dumpster service, contact Midwest Companies. They're focused on dumpster services that will help keep your project safe, clean, and on schedule. Midwest Companies takes care of contractors in need of a dumpster that's strong enough for heavy material and the homeowner doing a home improvement project, garage, basement foreclosure, or estate clean-out. For a company that's built a great reputation with local contractors and residents by providing fast, efficient dumpster service at a competitive price, consult with Midwest Companies for a no hidden fee quote. For new customers and a limited time, get $50 off your first service. Midwest Companies. Online at mwcompanies.com. mwcompanies.com.
What interest rate would you rather pay on your credit card debt? 17% or less than 6% APR? The answer is obvious, Lightstream. Because with Lightstream, you may be able to consolidate credit card debt and dramatically cut your interest rate to as low as 5.89% APR with AutoPay. Plus, radio listeners get an additional rate discount. Just go to lightstream.com/act. With average interest rates on credit card debt at 17% APR, Lightstream could save you thousands in interest. And because Lightstream is a division of SunTrust Bank, one of the nation's largest and strongest financial institutions, you can have complete peace of mind. The application takes just minutes, and there are no fees and no pressure. Just lower rates, one low fixed monthly payment, and huge savings. So if you have good credit, apply today and get a special interest rate discount when you go to lightstream.com/act. That's lightstream.com/act. lightstream.com/act.
Subject to credit approval. Rate includes 0.5% autopay discount. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com for more information.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We're talking about Red Hen Day 2, and of course, President tweeted about it, rallying to the defense of his press secretary.
The tweet was pretty funny. He ripped down the restaurant. It was awesome.
I don't know if he's gone there. I think he's perhaps making assumptions, but
okay.
The Red Hen restaurant should focus more on cleaning its filthy canopies, doors, and windows. Badly needs a paint job. Rather than refusing to serve a fine person like Sarah Huckabee Sanders, I always had a rule: if a restaurant is dirty on the outside, it's dirty on the inside.
That's great.
You got a real nice briefing on Red Hen restaurant, apparently, did the president.
And he talked about it, too, last night when he was campaigning for today's primary in South Carolina.
They're only good at one thing. What's their term? Resist. It's the party of Maxine Waters. Do you believe her? No. This has become the party of Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi.
He was just talking about, what their call to go up to politicians that you don't agree with and pretty much harass them in public.
Well, yeah, and it's interesting. I think some Democrats are uncomfortable with Maxine Waters because I think they realize that this is not being received well, generally speaking, in the populace, that this isn't putting their best foot forward politically, and that they're continuing to gin up that Trump vote that came out in 2016 to make sure they make the same point they made in 16 in the midterms in 18. And so I think Maxine Waters is making a little, particularly say Democrat senators in red states, a little jumpy these days.
And listen to her late night apology. I mean, I don't even know if this is an apology.
I believe in peaceful, very peaceful protests. I have not called for the harm of anybody. This president has lied again when he's saying that I called for harm to anyone.
Representative Waters, I have a follow-up. Representative Waters.
Hello.
What did you mean when you led the rioting in L.A. after the Rodney King verdict and the chanting, "No justice, no peace"? What does that mean? No justice, no peace. Is that not an implicit call for violence? I mean, I just want to understand the meaning of your sloganeering. Now, no sleep, no peace. But it's sort of the same construct. I'm sure she just means it rhetorically because she's a measured woman. It also, the president may want to add, it's also the party of Judd Apatow. You know Judd Apatow, of course.
Yes. All
of the silly movies. He actually does have a nice credit with what I'm forgetting the Freaks and Geeks.
Oh.
Yeah, that was really good. But
I had a brain fart. I'm sorry.
Gross.
Oh, gross.
What's that phrase? What are you in 5th grade? That's terrible. Judd Apatow tweeted yesterday.
Brain freeze. Excuse me.
So Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, and sort of the Hollywood dolts like Judd Apatow. He's a Nazi. He wants no judicial process. He kidnapped children and commits acts of violence for political gain and to support his racist views. He admires violent dictators. Trump is a Nazi. The debate is over, so we're not going to debate this. It's over. Judd Apatow said so. Soon we will have proof he is a Nazi supported by the Russians. Soon we have proof he is a Nazi supported by the Russians. I'm going to have to work the math out on that. But so there's Judd Apatow giving you the definitive word on this topic, on the topic of immigration, on the topic of the Trump administration, and thus the justification for Maxine Waters' call for targeting members of the Trump administration who are nothing more than Trump the Nazis' Gruppenführers. Don't you understand this?
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Let's take a walk down Memories Lane. Remember Memories Pizza?
Yeah. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Outside, we have skies that are turning mostly cloudy, 68 degrees. The president is not shying away from his tweets, saying he'd rather have people entering the country illegally immediately deported than have them facing a judge.
And we want to tell people, I'm sorry, you're coming into the country illegally. We don't want you in the country. That's it. It's now over.
During a rally in South Carolina yesterday, the president saying 5,000 new judges would be needed to process immigrants crossing the border, and some legal analysts say that deprives illegal immigrants of their right to due process. The White House says thousands of illegal immigrants are already removed each month without an immigration judge or order being involved. The FBI's mishandling of the investigation into Hillary Clinton's emails will again be the subject of a congressional hearing. FBI Director Christopher Wray, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein are scheduled to testify in front of the House Intelligence Committee Thursday. The Pawnee fire in Northern California continues to burn, barely contained. The fire showed significant growth, burning at least 10,000 acres in Lake County, about 70 miles northwest of Sacramento. The FDA this morning is green-lighting the first-ever pharmaceutical drug made from marijuana. It's called Epidiolex, and it can be used to treat rare forms of epilepsy when paired with other pharmaceuticals. One teen is dead, 3 others are wounded following a shooting on Chicago's far south side last night near 123rd and Yale. No one quite knows exactly when the U.S. Supreme Court will decide what could be a landmark case involving Illinois public sector unions. Governor Bruce Rauner yesterday decided to stay in Washington, D.C. to see if the court will decide on the Janus case today. And authorities continue their investigation into a hit-and-run crash over the weekend that killed a popular local high school softball coach in Oswego. Chicago sports, Cubs could only manage a ninth-inning sac fly in a 2-1 loss to the Dodgers in L.A. White Sox welcome the Twins to town tonight for the start of a 3-game set. Houston Rockets star James Harden, this year's NBA MVP. The news service of Compassion International. You can't change the whole world, but you can be part of the change in the world for a child living in poverty by becoming a Compassion International child sponsor. You can choose a child to sponsor now at compassion.com/radio. That's compassion.com/radio. 5:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher. The Mike Gallagher Show.
This is the headline at CNN.com. Donald Trump is as popular as he's ever been, parentheses, in one poll. That's the CNN News headline. I've never seen a more biased headline. You know what that one poll is they're referring to? Oh, I don't know, a little organization called Gallup. Oh, my gosh. We are in Crazyville.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer gives you multiple quote options, so you can pick what's right for you. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
What do you hear? Most people just hear an engine. We hear a 6.2-liter Hemi V8 with a supercharger that accelerates so fast, it'll suck the air out of your lungs and knock you back in your seat like you're an astronaut in a rocket ship hurtling through the stratosphere. But then again, we're not most people. We're the Brotherhood of Muscle. Dodge. Domestic, not domesticated. Dodge is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Today, business happens here, and virtually anywhere. Because today, innovative companies are reinventing the way business happens. And they need people who can keep up. With the expertise and technology to get packages to over 150 million delivery points. So, who can help you deliver the future of commerce? The United States Postal Service. See why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone at USPS.com/future.
It is 5:35. Let's get an update on the morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Northbound Tri-State Tollway traffic is stop and go from the Grand Avenue curve to Balmoral. This is due to a late pickup of overnight road construction. Have delays on the Edens outbound. Montrose to past Foster. Everything from an earlier multi-vehicle crash has been moved off the expressway to Peterson. Looking at 26 minutes to get from Montrose to Lake Cook. Inbound fine at 19. Kennedy still okay. Express lanes a little heavy inbound past Diversey. There was a stall at Fullerton. It's now gone. Von Eisenhower getting some congestion east of 25th Avenue. At Stevenson, it's slow. 1st Avenue to Pulaski and Ashland to the Ryan. 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 19 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Fort, 18 minutes, 8094 to the Merge. Traffic service of unbound.org. Places around the world, there are elders who long for community, connection, and the opportunity to live with greater dignity. Sponsor an elder through Unbound and help bring a brighter tomorrow. One person who has helped us all build a better world. Meet one at unbound.org. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, a few storms and thunderstorms. Some of those could be severe today, a high near 80. Scattered storms overnight, then partly cloudy, low 68. Wednesday, cloudy skies early, partly cloudy in the afternoon, a high near 80. Currently 68. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. The Civil War is already upon us, guys. It's been upon us for a while. We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Why we're leaving the GOP? Between George Will's column over the weekend and this piece in the New York Times from Susan Bevan and Susan Coleman with the Republican majority for choice, I've gotten some good belly laughs. Susan Bevan, Susan Coleman writing the obituary for the Republican Party that they say the year 1980 will be cited as the beginning of the end. Reaganism in full flower and the big tent was folding. These are pro-choice Republican women. Mm-hmm. They're shutting their doors. Gee, I wonder why. As Republicans, we spent 4 decades working inside the party to produce effective policies helping women and families. They supported great Republicans like, are you ready for this list?
Yeah.
Alan Simpson of Wyoming, Olympia Snowe, Susan Collins of Maine, House members like Connie Morella of Maryland, Mike Castle of Delaware, Charlie Dent of Pennsylvania, governors like Bill Weld, Bill Weld, the Libertarian VP candidate in 2016, Christine Todd Whitman, George Pataki. Our argument was simple. True fiscal conservatives should embrace family planning because it reduces poverty, increases educational attainment, workforce competitiveness, improves health, provides the opportunity for people to make educated moral choices, so on and so forth. We don't have the space to outline President Trump's transgressions, but it's important to understand that his rise is an inevitable result of the hostility to women within the Republican culture. Women's reproductive freedom has shifted with the wind. That's no wonder women are voting with their feet. Pew Research Center, 56% of women identify as or lean towards Democrats. Mm-hmm. So they're gone. The Republican Party is no family of ours, and so we say goodbye. I wonder if they're closing their doors because of the lack of financial support to be relevant. How many people are familiar with the Republican majority for choice? I mean, I am, but I'm a political flack. I'm inside the tent or the bubble since I guess the tent folded. Yeah. So the Republican Party is intolerant to people who are pro-choice, and so they're leaving.
Where are they going to go?
Don't care. And so
are they going to try and start a third party here?
So, the Gallup survey research on this issue, remember we talked about it, came out earlier this month. 48% of Americans identify as pro-life, 48% pro-choice. So there's disagreement, but I guess Mrs. Bevan and Coleman can't tolerate the disagreement. Nearly every poll since 1979, women were slightly more likely than men to think abortion should be illegal in all circumstances. So I guess those aren't real women. Very, very much sounds like the left's characterization of women who are not radical left feminists and pro-abort flacks. You're not really a woman. But there's a lot of women who think they're women and are pro-life, turns out, much to the chagrin of Mrs. Bevan and Coleman. 60% of respondents think abortion should be generally legal during the first trimester. That support falls to 28% in the second trimester, 13% during the third trimester. So, where the actual debates are occurring, because abortion is not going to be outlawed at the federal level unless and until the Supreme Court takes up the case again. And if and when they do, overturning Roe v. Wade would just return it to the states. 28% support in the second trimester, 13% support in the third trimester. That's where all the action is legislatively. So actually, it's a supermajority of the country, much, again, to the chagrin of Bevan and Coleman, that oppose kind of abortion on demand. There are pro-choice Republicans. How many pro-choice Democrats are there? I mean, how many pro-life Democrats are there? Did you see what happened to Dan Lipinski in the recently passed Democrat primary for his congressional seat? Because he's
a pro-choice Democrat.
He's a pro-life Democrat.
Pro-life Democrat, excuse me.
And he's like the last one standing.
Yeah.
Pro-life Democrat Lipinski is the last one standing, and the radical left threw everything and the kitchen sink at him, nearly defeating his radical left opponent in the Democrat primary. So you want to talk to me about Big Tent? There's division on the issue. But in terms of diversity of opinion, the diversity of opinion on the issue is much more so within Republican ranks than it is Democrat ranks. You either hew the orthodoxy or you are targeted for elimination. Whereas, oh, by the way, for example, just to provide a local counter, in the super PAC that I run at the state level here, I've supported pro-choice Republican candidates for state legislative office with the resources that my PAC has. Supported candidates who disagree with me on marriage redefinition. We're focused on the economic liberty policy agenda here. The interesting thing, too, is the real tell here is the candidates they supported. True fiscal conservatives. That's how the Republican majority for choice wanted to characterize themselves. Alan Simpson, Olympia Snowe, Susan Collins, Christine Todd Whitman, tax raiser, Bill Weld, George Pataki. These were fiscal conservatives in the Senate, in their respective state houses, governor's mansions. No. It turns out that most of those folks who are wrong on the fundamental issues become wrong on a range of other issues, too. It's one of the reasons that conservatives are so often first to ask a candidate for office, what's your position on abortion and what's your position on guns? Because if you're right on human life and if you're right on guns, self-protection, then it's likely you're going to be right on the range of other issues. And if you're not conservative in your understanding of those issues, then it's likely you're going to be off the rails on the fiscal issues, too. Let me give you an example. Former Governor Bruce Rauner. I mean,
well, he doesn't have a social agenda, remember that?
Right.
And he's not in charge, too.
Precisely. And let me give you an example. The candidates they listed as supporting, as I mentioned, Alan Simpson, Olympia Snowe, Susan Collins, Christine Todd Whitman, Bill Weld. It's just fascinating that they're taking a walk. They're so irrelevant that they have to pen this op-ed to formally provide a rationale for their slippage into oblivion. And that's because science is making it clear about human life and the development of human life. There's a good piece, by the way, in the Federalist by the executive director of the American Association of Pro-Life Obstetricians and Gynecologists about when life begins and how science is making pro-life or pro-choicers look sort of silly on the issue. But point of fact is this is a divisive issue because the Supreme Court weighed in where it shouldn't have, penumbras and emanations and the like, and so it continues to be a divisive issue. But I just say again, in terms of your opening question, where are they going to go? Well, I guess they'll go to the other side that has no tolerance for diversity of opinion on the issue. Right? What is there a Democrats for Life movement on the left? I'm not familiar with it. And this is consistent, by the way, with that other op-ed I mentioned over the weekend. George Will, in November, cast your vote against the GOP. The principle is
that article yesterday.
Congressional Republican caucuses must be substantially reduced to minorities, stripped of the Constitution's Article 1 powers that they have been too invertebrate to use against the current wielder of Article 2 powers. Then they will have the leisure time to wonder why they work so hard to achieve membership in a legislature whose unexercised muscles have atrophied because of people like him. I mean, there's some legitimate criticism of Congress here, not from the angle that I would take. He falls on the side of the Bob Corkers and to a lesser extent the Jeff Flakes of the world, does George Will, who I think have already formally left the Republican Party too during the tenure of Trump. So now he's suggesting others do the same. It's interesting how Trump is fleshing people out. Stripping away a lot of facades, and you start to see people for who they really are when there is actual disagreement, and importantly, when they are not ascendant. The
think who's leaving the
punditocracy.
Republican Party. I mean, Jeff Flake's leaving, Trey Gowdy, Paul Ryan.
Well, they're not leaving the Republican
Well,
Party.
they're not leaving.
They're running
they're
again.
running again.
That's different.
Right, but don't you think we need Trey Gowdy and them in
I would
D.C.? Jeff Flake, maybe not, but of course Trey Gowdy.
I would be happy to have Trey Gowdy run for re-election. That would be great. He's chose not to do that. That's okay. There are temporary representatives, not our betters. There are other people that can do those jobs. There are a lot of talented people in South Carolina, just like there are a lot of talented people in Illinois, almost none of whom are in public office. But could they do the jobs?
They're too tall, Dan.
Could
The
any
lollipop gang. I mean, come on.
Well,
There's a
that's-
height requirement.
I understand you right. If you can go on the American Eagle, if you're taller than that Succotash Sham extended arm, then you can't be in office here. But do you think there's anybody in Chicago who could do Danny Davis's job?
Davis.
Do you think that anybody in Chicago could do Mike Quigley's job?
Yes.
Anybody in
Emanuel's
Chicago
job.
or Illinois who could do Tammy Duckworth's job or Dick Durbin's job? Yeah. There are a lot of people. They've just maybe not left the Republican Party. They've just sort of abdicated from politics altogether.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Coming up, guess who was cast as Roger Ailes in the upcoming Showtime series? But first, here's your forecast. Today, it's going to be cloudy, some thunderstorms. There could be heavy. The rain could be heavy at time, and there could be high winds, a high near 80 degrees. Tonight, we can't rule out a severe evening thunderstorm. And then tomorrow, it's going to be humid with clouds and sun, a high of 80 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. In Elgin, McLean Boulevard is closed between Highland and Wing after a crash. Police say it will remain closed till 8 this morning. Northbound Tri-State jammed North Avenue to Balmoral. Overnight road work cleared late. Outbound Edens is heavy Elston to Cicero after a five-car crash, but it is gone now. Routine delays elsewhere. I'm Jim Talamonte, the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
There's always that time of day when the sun creates havoc at the office.
This is ridiculous.
You're literally blinded by the light. Can't see a thing on your computer monitor and feel like you're baking in an oven. Make your office or storefront distraction-free with custom shades from 1-800-4BLINDS. You'll keep your customers comfortable, protect furnishings and decor from fading, and have happy, productive employees that don't have to stop in the middle of a project because of the glare. 1-800-4BLINDS can get the job done quickly with their local in-house installation crew. You'll save money on window treatments that not only look great, but will also help you shrink utility bills with special heat-reducing shades that can trap heat between the window and shade. They also offer custom painted solar shades with your logo or photo image printed directly on the shade. Get the sun out of your eyes. Call 1-800-4BLINDS direct for a consultation today. 773-447-5448 or visit 1-800-4BLINDSchicago.com. That's 1-800-4BLINDSchicago.com.
Hey guys, Ken here from the Business Accelerator podcast, Today's Growth. If you had to choose a vehicle to take you up the rocky side of a mountain, would you choose a Ferrari or a Jeep? The Ferrari's faster, cooler, maybe even sexier, but if you have to get to the top, the Jeep's a better bet. I think we can agree getting to the top is not about the driver, it's the vehicle. Have you noticed people often pick their financial vehicle like they pick their cars? Washington Post shared that only 1 out of 4 people choose a job that uses their college degree. Why? Simple. Something more immediate, maybe cooler, maybe even sexier came along first. Shouldn't the main deciding factors for revenue generation be production or output? Should the cool factor have any weight in choosing someone's income? If getting to the top of the financial mountain is mission critical for you, why not add a few Jeeps to your garage? Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that makes it to the top every time? If so, you have to see the Jeeps lined up at IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
If you're aged 59 and a half or older with the 401k plan and still working, stop what you're doing and call Arlington Capital Management at 855-471-5796. They'll help you actively manage your 401k, show you strategies to avoid major declines, and capitalize on opportunities. There are benefits with age, and this is one of them. At 59 and a half, you're entitled to new opportunities in the investment world that can dramatically improve your results and even lower your fees. Call 855-471-5796 471-5796 now and take the first step toward getting more out of your retirement assets. The team at Arlington Capital Management proactively explores the market, our economy, and all of the variables that offset your investments. Call 855-471-5796 now for a complimentary consultation. That's 855-471-5796 or visit arlington-capital.com. You worked hard to accumulate your nest egg. Now, it's time to put your money to work for you.
Hey, we know replacing your roof is a big deal and a big decision. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson, the boys from Crumweedy. If your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy. We would love to do your roof. Why choose Crumweedy to do your roof or roof repairs?
It's all about installation. Our guys are pros. When we install your roof, you'll get the Crumweedy promise of installation that's up to manufacturer specifications. So your warranty is intact. You'll be happy.
Cost. We give you a good, better, best option. You choose. No high pressure.
We're here. We're a third-generation family business that was built on the same conservative values as you.
We do business the right way. We have a special offer that includes free gutters with a new roof. Ask about it. When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy. 630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
Get all the info at myroofisneedy.com. myroofisneedy.com.
She seems happier. Her fur is so much shinier, silkier, softer. She has really mellowed a lot.
Sheba is 105 lean pounds of shiny, smooth, happy dog for life.
The shedding has stopped. The itching has stopped.
Since 2001, we've helped more than 250,000 dogs get over their nutritional deficiency miseries.
And saved our customers bazillions in vet bills.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
Come to Dynovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
The omega-3 fatty acids, flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
Dynovite is nutrition.
Dynovite for life.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dynovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Are you happy with what's looking back at you in the mirror? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we'd like to help you with that smile. Whether you're looking to fix 1 or 2 teeth or a whole smile makeover, we can take care of all your dental needs. We have a beautiful modern facility and a great staff. And most importantly, we love what we do. That's what sets us apart from other offices. Let's face it, a dental office is not everyone's favorite place. Whether you're 2 or 102, we make it fun and enjoyable. We perform all types of dentistry as well. Fillings, root canals, crowns, extractions, dentures, implants. We do most everything right in our office. And for you denture wearers, we have a full in-house denture lab and can perform repairs and relines while you wait. We can also talk about adding implants so your denture will snap into place or become screw retained. This is the closest option to natural teeth. We are conveniently located in Gurnee at the corner of Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. So make today the day you give us a call. 847-244-4000. That's 847-244-4000. Or visit us on the web at GurneeDDS.com. We look forward to seeing you, and remember, second opinions are always free. Excellence in dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
Hey, nothing says summer like the smell of a grill, a delicious handcrafted burger, and a cold beer or cocktail. The Country House has been providing just that for over 40 years. Their 3 great locations in Lisle, Clarendon Hills, and Geneva offers great hospitality in a casual neighborhood setting. Try their award-winning Country Burger, half pound of fresh chuck, grilled to perfection and served on dark rye. Country House has several other choices for burgers like bison, elk, turkey, and veggie, and their top drawer burger blends short rib chuck and brisket for an unmatched taste. Take your time looking over the daily specials while you enjoy the spacious deck in Geneva or hang out on the patio in Lisle. And don't forget to join the House Rewards program at Country House and earn points while you dine. All new signups will be entered into a drawing for tickets to see the Northsiders versus the Southsiders. Country House. Visit burger1.com. That's burgerone.com.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
5:57. Let's get an update on the morning ride to work. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Edens Expressway outbound traffic still a bit tight between Elston and Cicero. There was an earlier crash. 21 minutes to get from Montrose to Lake Cook. Inbound fine at 19. Inbound Kennedy, 25 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 13 from Montrose. 10 on the Express. Outbound 10 to Montrose, 24 minutes downtown to O'Hare. Von Eisenhower, looking at 34 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 30. About Stevenson, delays start at Willow Springs Road. It's 50 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound still okay. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57's good. Bishop Ford, 22 minutes, 80-94 to the Verge. What's on Tri-State heavy. North Avenue to Balmoral after construction. Traffic service, Positive Coaching Alliance. Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for coaches, parents, students, and administrators. PCADevZone.org. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Flash flood watch in effect this afternoon through late tonight. Thunderstorms strong late in the day today with a high 79. Severe evening thunderstorm, otherwise a mostly cloudy night with a late night shower or thunderstorm around. Low tonight, 69. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
68 at O'Hare, the news service of Unbound.org. A girl in El Salvador dreams of becoming an engineer. There's an elder in Uganda who dreams of having a community to call his own. No two dreams are the same. Help one person achieve theirs at Unbound.org. 5:59 on AM 560. Time for a dry basement and a healthy home. It's time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. Here are the stories we're following this morning. Chicago police investigating after at least 6 were shot in the Bronzeville neighborhood. The partner of Chicago police officer Robert Rialmo is corroborating a key part of his account of the deadly shooting of Quintonio LeGrier. 2 Chicago high school principals are removed from their positions as CPS continues to investigate how administrators handled sex abuse allegations. Authorities continue to investigate a hit-and-run crash over the weekend that killed a local high school softball coach in Oswego. Cubs manage only a 9th-inning sac fly in a loss to the Dodgers. White Sox welcome the Twins to town tonight. More Dan and Amy after Fox. WIND, Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
The polls are just opening in South Carolina. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
So please get your asses out tomorrow and vote.
President Trump at a rally last night for Governor Henry McMaster.
Donald Trump has kept every promise that he's made. We love him.
McMaster is facing a primary runoff from a millionaire Republican businessman, John Warren, who's also a Trump supporter. Polls also just opening now in Maryland, and there are primary contests in 5 other states, including Utah, where Republican Mitt Romney is on the ballot for the first time since losing the 2012 presidential election. He's running for Senate in Utah. Back to last night's rally.
The Democrats want to protect illegals coming into this country, some of whom are not good.
But Democrats have been very critical of his zero-tolerance policy and the separation of immigrant families, but that policy appears to be in flux. Fox's Rachel Sutherland, live in Washington.
Dave, Customs and Border Protection says it's no longer referring parents and guardians for prosecution if they don't have a criminal record. But White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says the administration's zero-tolerance policy is still in effect, while she acknowledged ICE facilities are filling up.
We're going to run out of space. We're going to run out of resources in order to keep people together.
Sanders called on Congress to pass a bill on immigration. So far, more than 500 children have been reunited with their parents. Dave.
Rachel, House Republicans will meet today in private to try to work out differences in the immigration bill. A different version was voted down last week. A 77-year-old man is jailed in California, accused of setting a fire at his retirement home early yesterday, then shooting at first responders, killing a fire captain, wounding another firefighter and a third person.
He has been booked for murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, and arson.
Long Beach Police Chief Robert Luna. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. And hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
When working at a growing business, you wear many hats. The new business hat, the buying toner for the copy machine hat, the sifting through tons of resumes hat. You can throw away that last hat thanks to Indeed.com. When posting your job, Indeed lets you add screener questions that give you a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates. So go ahead, dust off that extra long lunch hat. Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
You don't remember days, you remember moments. But when the old tapes and photos that hold your cherished memories degrade, or worse, you lose them, they're gone forever. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger. We started Legacy Box to help you preserve those irreplaceable moments.
Load your Legacy Box with your old tapes, film, pictures, and audio, and send them in. You'll get them back on DVD or a convenient thumb drive.
Visit legacybox.com/USA. And for a limited time, you'll get 40% off your order. legacybox.com/USA.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Mike Scott had it in his newscast. 2 CPS principals, Chicago Public School principals, have been removed amid new allegations of sexual abuse. Hello?
Good.
Is this on?
Wait.
Is anybody paying attention to this?
312-642-5600 is our Turnkey Debt Pro answer line.
We're 3 weeks removed from the betrayed expose the Chicago Tribune did, documenting systemic failure / covering up of sexual misconduct by CPS employees. The adults in the system that do everything for the kids. Oh, I know. Or to the kids, as the case may be. 230 cases. The city's lawyers found credible evidence of sexual misconduct. 230 cases. And this is just the first expose. This is the first cut at it. You know what's happening now. You have 2 girls testify before a legislative committee last week. And so more are kind of coming forward because they feel they can now, which is a good thing. Remember what we're talking about here. We're talking about sexual abuse of children. We're talking about people who should have never been employed by CPS because a proper background check would have found arrests and convictions associated with sex offenses against children in some cases. We're talking about the principals and administrators with a legal duty to report to DCFS and local police any such incident who didn't. We're talking about people getting shuffled around, reassigned.
Oh, and also people that moved to other states because they knew that they were busted or going to get busted, and one became a superintendent at a school in Florida, or a school district there.
Sheldon House, the principal of Simeon Career Academy, removed amid a newly disclosed allegation of sexual abuse lodged against an unnamed school volunteer.
That's the track coach.
The allegation was discovered during an audit of systemic issues.
Oh, yeah.
Quote unquote, in the school's background check process. Oh, really?
Well, the findings suggest that they did not effectively safeguard their students. He and Armando Rodriguez of, am I pronouncing this correctly? Sarah Good STEM Academy.
But Armando Rodriguez, the principal at Sarah Good STEM, reassigned from his post. Oh, the little dance of the lemons. Reassigned from his post after a teacher at the building was removed from duty earlier this month following an allegation of sexual abuse of a student.
Oh.
So, by the way,
is there justice there?
Is there any assignment of responsibility to the head of the Chicago Public Schools? I'm not talking about Janice Jackson, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. I'm talking about Tiny Dancer. Any assignment of responsibility there? Or are we going to be satisfied with his, hey, I'm sorry, every adult should be sorry. Hey, if you got any ideas, I'm all ears.
Don't pin this on one person. Remember when he said that?
Oh, no, right. No, this is everybody. All of us are responsible. Yeah. We're equal. The people in charge of the system are no more responsible than you out there who have nothing to do with CPS. That's essentially the line of argumentation Rahm offered. And, now they're going to try and gather a few scalps to show how serious they are about rooting out the systemic sexual abuse inside the Chicago public school system.
Oh, at Simeon High School, though, you mentioned it's a new allegation. This is something new that
correct
of a volunteer, and it was not handled according with CPS policy. That's why their principal's gone. Both of these people are being replaced by retired CPS principals.
Mm-hmm. The Tribune story, remember, documented Simeon's failure to conduct a mandated criminal background check before making Gerald Gaddy an assistant coach of the boys wrestling and girls track team starting in 2010. The Tribune investigation documented just kind of general shortfalls in district practices to avoid and respond to sexual misconduct.
And grooming, too. I mean, there's a lot of these teachers who would just try and, well, you know what grooming means, but they're going to put a stop to that because they put out an email, and that's going to make it all better, that they're going to investigate even allegations of that. And they're going to put posters up in the hallways, Dan, that say, report sexual abuse, even if it's from your teacher.
Uh-huh.
Question authority.
Kevin in Northfield, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Dan, my comment is short and sweet. When it comes to child sexual abuse at the Chicago public school system, it's the principal that matters.
Okay. Is that sort of some kind of sort of double entendre? Thanks for the call, Kevin. Yeah, I'm sort of flabbergasted by how this is getting coverage, but it's not really leading the news.
No,
it doesn't feel like this has permeated the body politic that people are talking about this.
Oh, Channel 7 did a reader on it last night. Ooh.
But I mean, you're in a CPS community. Are people talking about this? Families at Blaine talking about this?
Oh God, no.
Why not?
Well, me and my other fellow Republican, because there's two of us there, we talked about it.
Yeah, but you have liberal friends there too.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Maybe it's the timing that this all came out right before summer break, but it's frightening.
Oh,
and I've been assured by our principal and our assistant principal that, any allegation that is reported is taken seriously and that they care for our children.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, Gerald Gaddy, who again was profiled in the Tribune, the failure of the background check at Simeon. I mean, he was. This is 4 or 5 years ago. This is somebody who was convicted of assaulting girls, and you had one of the girls testify before that legislative commission last week.
Here she is.
I'm here because of what CPS subjected me to in the months following. I'm here to shed light on the re-traumatizing, intimidating interrogations.
And wait till you hear this. They blame the victim.
I was pulled from class to sit alone in a room with an old man who asked not how I felt or what they could do to make me feel safe in my own school again, but what I was wearing when I had been assaulted.
I mean, honestly, that makes me want to cry. That she was raped, and then they asked her what she was wearing as if it's her fault. Sick.
I felt like I was the one under investigation. I am not the person I was before the assault. And I will never be the same as a result of what has been done to me.
I am so glad this morning that the principal has been fired. From Simeon.
I just don't. We're sort of so slow to react to these abuses. I don't really understand what the loyalty is to CPS. I've seen polling on CPS. It is not held in high regard by Chicago residents. Interestingly, you wouldn't believe this to see the press coverage of institutions in Chicago, but the Chicago police are held in much higher regard than the Chicago public school system. I think you have a little bit of a problem like you do in Congress, where I despise Congress, but I like my congressman. I don't like CPS. I don't think the schools do a good job. I think they're getting worse. That's actually prevailing public opinion in Chicago of CPS. And it's also correct. So it should be prevailing public opinion. But I like my teacher. I like my school.
Well, yeah,
so
I love Blaine. I mean, I love the kids there, and I love the teachers.
we were
I love the janitors. I love the lunchroom.
we were slow to react and hold people accountable, and obviously there was massive system failure in the Catholic Church when it came to sexual abuse. The same thing at Michigan State with that doctor,
Messer,
that
yeah.
gymnast doctor, and now this. Are we inert to it? Do we
Or is
shrug
there
our
fatigue?
shoulders? We say we can't do anything about it. Are we afraid to go after CPS for some reason? I don't know what that reason could possibly be. It's a terrible, terrible public school system.
Awful. I mean,
I just
well, why
Rahm.
aren't people going after Rahm? Why aren't there protests in front of his house? I mean, there's always people getting off the Brown line and marching up his street, but nobody's marching and protesting for this.
Have we so resigned ourselves to this kleptocracy that we just throw up our hands and go about our daily lives and just say, well, these institutions have failed forever. They will continue to fail. There's nothing I can do about it, so I give up. And, and Rahm is the best we can do. This alderman's the best we can do. I mean, is that where it's at? It's just the fatalism is so thick and the Stockholm syndrome so virulent that you just can't get motivated to rise up against your occupiers. It's bizarre to me. It's like, I don't care about my home being taken away. I don't care about some alderman taking somebody's property away because he's on the wrong side of some political dispute, getting fired. I don't care about children being abused in CPS. I mean, nothing can animate me. It's remarkable, the indifference or fatalism. I guess there's sort of two sides of the same coin. Interestingly, in a related story, a good piece from former Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal
Oh, I love him.
in the Wall Street Journal, The Moral Logic of School Choice. And this is related because we have this tax credit scholarship program that was initiated last year, $500 million over 5 years, 75% tax credit up to like $1.3 million for donors, both individual and corporate, to fund scholarships. And you can designate to specific schools or just fund regionally. And this is life preservers for kids in this terrible school system and other terrible school systems around the state. But families who would make a choice if they had the resources to implement the choice, well, those resources are coming online. And against the backdrop of this predatory environment in CPS, the systemic failure in CPS, it couldn't be more important. Joe on the South Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning. I really enjoy your show.
Thank
So
you.
I want to know answer your question, where's the press? Where's the outrage? Where's the thing? I said, it'll come when the lawyers come. And, I want to know where the evil cabal of lawyers are that are going to jump on the carcass of the CPS school system.
Yeah, where are the trial lawyers here? Thanks for the call, Joe. Where are the trial lawyers? Now this is going after an institution that, trial lawyers as financiers of the left, would otherwise be quick to defend, but I understand that their priority is going to be business related. It's not an easy target that the press will cheer like the Catholic Church. It would be interesting, but it's been very quiet from all of the customary fronts, hasn't it been?
Well, maybe now the two principals have been removed, it might move into the A block of the newscast.
No.
From the B.
I don't. Do you think so? I don't. I don't. I don't know.
The woman testifying
fatalism
that
breeds
victim,
fatalism.
The victim that was so brave to testify in Springfield last week, I didn't see her.
Yeah, last week.
I didn't see her on 5 or 2. Oh, we don't watch 2.
I mean,
or 32 or 7.
I'm sure it's covered in passing, but the point is that it just doesn't seem like it's front and center like it should be. Like you would think a scandal of this magnitude and the nature of it would be. That's bizarre to me. Bobby Jindal's piece about school choice. Empower Illinois is like the leading scholarship granting organization in the state. That's where you can apply for scholarships to various schools. So if you're thinking about that for your kids, and you should be, particularly if you're in a terrible school system like CPS, Jindal makes an important point. The moral logic of school choice. The moral logic of school choice is simple. It empowers parents to select the environment that fits each student's particular aptitudes, learning styles, and preferences. Since parents know their kids better than any government bureaucracy, they're best positioned to make such decisions. And he distinguishes between like the Chamber of Commerce types and conservatives. And this is an important distinction. The Chamber of Commerce types prioritize economic growth and skilled workers, so they're comfortable with a top-down approach. They may embrace universal standard tests, Common Core, this evidence-based learning scam that we just embraced, Republicans and Democrats embraced in the budget last year.
Common Core?
No, well, Common Core, but I'm talking about evidence-based.
Right. Bobby Jindal and I bonded over Common Core because our sons were both in 5th grade at the time. And we're like, hey, can you explain to me why 9 plus 6 equals and why? I mean, it was the infuriating math. That was the worst program ever. But go on, sorry.
Well, his point about the Chamber of Commerce types, the people that think it's okay to stop at charter schools and then it's okay to unionize the charter schools to undermine the point of charter schools in the first place. You know, the kind of effete C-suite class in Chicago that spends most of its time pretending to be fiscal conservatives while supporting Chicago Democrats, that type. This is an important type because they're a bulwark against progress, generally speaking. Chamber of Commerce types prioritize economic growth and skilled workers. That's why they like a top-down approach. And then if the test scores don't improve quickly enough, or if dropout rates don't plummet, they won't object to closing the charter school, ending the scholarship funding, trying another reform. This was the thinking behind previous experiments with smaller class sizes, more tech, new facilities. Conservatives, on the other hand, distinguished from the Chamber of Commerce types, favor a bottom-up approach. For them, economic growth is not the fundamental reason for universal public education. Otherwise, employers could simply replace state schools by sponsoring vocational training centers. Rather, conservatives see schools as an essential element of a self-governing republic, since citizens must have the critical thinking skills to hire and fire their leaders, something that's obviously lacking in this city. In this view, choice is the ultimate form of accountability, and letting parents pick their children's schools is valuable in itself, irrespective of outcomes. Parents' decisions must therefore be respected even when they are unconventional, such as homeschooling. Precisely. The choice is a good in and of itself. And the bigger question, which Jindal asks, is to those who support choice for some and not for others, is distinguish which adults are capable of choosing for their children and which do you say are not. This is the whole argument that has not been put to the central planners in the school systems. Force them to expose themselves for the hypocrites, racists in some cases, that they are. Certainly socioeconomic bigots. If you're poor, you don't have the intellect to make a choice. That's what they believe. That is the whole kind of, rally around public education and our great schools, our great neighborhood schools and this and that. What they really believe, and they want you to believe, is that poor people don't have the intellect to make choices for their kids. Thus, they need to be led by Tiny Dancer and the other members of the Lollipop Gang, and thus become beholden to them. Opportunity scholarships provide just exactly what they say. Opportunity, independence. You're not beholden to anybody anymore. You're charting your own course for your kid. Why does the state respect that some parents are capable of choosing what is best for children while acting as though other parents aren't, is the question, is the way that Jindal puts the question. And it's exactly the question that more people should be asking in Chicago and Illinois, in addition to all of the questions you should be asking at your local school level, as well as at the administrative office, as well as at the city's City Hall 5th floor, about what has been happening in CPS with respect to exploitation of children.
You've made the switch. and it feels so good. You switch to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
So who is going to play Roger Ailes? Not someone we mentioned when we had this talk topic a few weeks ago. Thunderstorms today. There could be strong, bringing some flooding and damaging winds. A high near 80 degrees. Tonight we have a chance of a severe thunderstorm. And then tomorrow it's going to be humid. No rain, but clouds and sunshine, a high near 80. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Is it the calm before the storm, Jim Telemonte?
Well, we've got a couple minor storms, or maybe major storms. Actually, in Elgin, a major crash. Elgin has McLean Boulevard blocked off between Highland and Wing. Police say it'll be closed till 8 this morning due to a crash. And in West Chicago, Cox is closed. Roosevelt and Haverhill due to a crash. Yeah, Expressway's a little calmer for the most part. The Eden's just 21 minutes like Cook to Montrose. Kennedy, 32 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Outbound, 29. Eisenhower, 40 minutes, 390 to downtown. It's 31 outbound. Stevenson, 50 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound, 36. The Bryan is 26 minutes, 95 to downtown. Northbound Tri-State heavy from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Reagan Tollway bottled up Midwest to Roosevelt after a stall. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
What do you hear? Most people just hear an engine. We hear a 6.2-liter Hemi V8 with a supercharger that accelerates so fast, it'll suck the air out of your lungs and knock you back in your seat like you're an astronaut in a rocket ship hurtling through the stratosphere. But then again, we're not most people. We're the Brotherhood of Muscle. Dodge. Domestic, not domesticated. Dodge is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Today, business happens here, and virtually anywhere. Because today, innovative companies are reinventing the way business happens. And they need people who can keep up. With the expertise and technology to get packages to over 150 million delivery points. So, who can help you deliver the future of commerce? The United States Postal Service. See why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone at USPS.com/future.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that use Balance of Nature as well.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. I take Balance of Nature because I know, I've seen it in my lab, and I know that it works. I've seen the immune response increase, I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection. And that, to me, as a scientist, rings so true.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Who is Joe Donnelly really working for? As a U.S. Senator, we pay him $174,000 a year. So, Donnelly's taxpayer-funded salary is almost 3 times more than a typical Hoosier family makes. But that wasn't enough for Donnelly. Donnelly took more. His family business got caught outsourcing jobs to Mexico. Mexico Joe profited up to $80,000. And a past safety inspection of Donnelly's family business found serious safety violations that put its Hoosier workers in danger. A 6-figure taxpayer-funded salary. His family's business caught outsourcing jobs to Mexico, risking American jobs. Mexico Joe Donnelly profits with tens of thousands. Vote no on Mexico Joe. He's just not working for Indiana. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Right now, are you sitting in your home afraid to go out in public? Afraid to be seen in a restaurant? Afraid to talk or smile knowing those dentures will fall out at any minute? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we can handle all your worries. We have a complete in-house denture lab, and we're here to help you smile and eat with all the confidence again. Every day I see folks like Mary, whose family didn't know where else to turn. Mary's been losing weight and wouldn't eat with her ill-fitting dentures. After talking with Mary, we realized that not only did her denture not fit well, but she hated the way it made her look. We fabricated a new denture that day, and we designed it with Mary's concerns in mind. The smile on her face when we finished conveyed the greatest feeling of all. Mary not only looked beautiful, but she was happy and couldn't wait to get downstairs and hit the restaurant. Mary is happy and her family is happy. That's what we do for our patients. We change their lives. Call us at 847-244-4000 for your free consultation. Don't hide in your house any longer. Enjoy your summer with a new smile and a new outlook on life. Again, call us at 847-244-4000. We are located in Gurnee at Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. Excellence in dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
Are you facing foreclosure, been foreclosed upon, in a bad modification, or just stuck in a bad mortgage? Well, we may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've been helping distressed homeowners like you for over 8 years now. We defend foreclosure actions. We bring claims against the banks and the servicers for wrongful foreclosure and other violations of mortgage servicing regulations. And we help people negotiate modifications of their existing mortgages, often including principal reductions. Give us a call. We provide free consultations. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest analysis, counsel, and advice regarding your options.
Hi, this is Rayanne from Lou Bridges & Associates. I am one of the loan modification processors here, and if you are in need of any additional information in regard to a loan modification, please contact the office.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy are talking about the CPS sex abuse scandal, and why it doesn't seem to be penetrating the city's consciousness. Brian on Route 59, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Amy. Love your show.
Thank you.
First-time caller. So I think it's just because, the CPS is wholly aligned with the Democrats and the left, and we've proven time and time again that they get special treatment from the press. We have a slanted, biased, media in this country. Why? You had the immigration guy on the other day talking about the immigration issues under Obama and how many people have been deported under him. Why did that never make the news?
Yeah.
Right?
Thanks
I think Trump makes a mistake when he calls it fake news. He should call it what it is. It's slanted, biased news all the time.
Thanks for the call, Brian. Appreciate it. Call again. I think there's something to that. Certainly covering for those in power. The D.C. press corps, just like the Chicago press corps, is the big government press corps. They're handmaidens, with exceptions, to big government purveyors. Now, again, credit to the Chicago Tribune for doing this expose. But then you have to go up the food chain and start to beat the drum for accountability at the highest levels. Why don't we start at the top? Let's start at the top in terms of accountability. This also is the same guy who put Barbara Byrd Bennett in as CPS chief, and now she, of course, is in federal prison.
Yeah, after robbing taxpayers.
Is there any accountability at the executive level in this city and state? That's my question.
Tiny Dancer, I know when Tiny Dancer came out and said it's not just one person. It's not just...
No.
Like, it's all of our
fault.
It's my fault. I've never been in Simeon High School in my life, but it's my fault.
You are as much at fault as Rahm Emanuel. We all are at fault. Everyone is to blame, including him, but including everybody. Again, executive accountability in the state. Will we ever get it?
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We have exclusive audio of what it's like to eat at Red Hen Restaurant at 6:36.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Fun times. Cloudy skies, and we're watching storms develop across the Midwest. Some of those could be severe throughout the day. President Trump not backing down on his call to deport illegal immigrants immediately without going before a judge. The president telling a crowd at a campaign rally in South Carolina last night his advisors say 5,000 new judges would be needed to process those crossing the border. The president saying he'd rather have ICE and Border Patrol handle it.
The laws are obsolete. The laws are horrible, having to do with the border, both in terms of security and in terms of taking care of people.
The Trump administration planning to house illegal immigrant children on military bases in Texas. Defense Secretary James Mattis said Fort Bliss and El Paso, Goodfellow Air Force Base in San Angelo will keep as many as 20,000 unaccompanied children. Some polling spots just opening up this morning. Primary elections are happening in half a dozen states: New York, Colorado, Maryland, Oklahoma, Utah, and Mississippi. In Utah, 2012
Republican presidential nominee Mitt Romney is heavily favored to win the GOP Senate nomination there. AT&T is facing allegations it was working with the NSA to spy on you and me. The Intercept reports the Dallas-based telecommunications giant allows the NSA to have 8 peering hubs to look at internet traffic. It's a project called Fairview. AT&T says the company is required by law to give information to the government by complying with court orders and subpoenas. Chicago police are investigating after at least 6 were shot in the Bronzeville neighborhood. It happened in the 3900 block of Vincennes Avenue last night. 2 Chicago principals removed from their positions as CPS investigates how the administrators handled sex abuse allegations. Simeon High Principal Dr. Sheldon House, Good STEM Academy Principal Armando Rodriguez were both relieved of their duties yesterday. Investigators say right now they're not sure what brought down a small plane in a western Illinois field. The FAA says they're reviewing the crash site about a mile north of the Monmouth Airport. The crash claimed the life of 65-year-old Robert Burkhardt of Peoria and 72-year-old Roger Lundeen of Galesburg. Cubs fell to the Dodgers in L.A. 2-1. White Sox welcome the Twins to town tonight. The news is a service of Unbound.org. There's a girl in El Salvador who dreams of becoming an engineer, an elder in Uganda who dreams of having a community to call his own. No 2 dreams are the same. Help one person achieve theirs at Unbound.org. 6:34 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager, The Dennis Prager Show.
One of the reasons that there are no competing goods for the left on this issue is they don't really care if we are inundated with illegal immigrants. That's one reason. Another reason is everything is seen in the prism of how can it hurt this administration.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
Tasty Catering is bringing outdoor happiness to you and your coworkers this picnic season.
Down-home barbecue, street tacos, sausages and sandwiches, steaks, chops, fish, Greek feasts, pig roasts. The list goes on.
Tasty Catering picnic foods are more deliciously sophisticated than ever. With so many great options, everyone will be happy.
Organic, gluten-free, vegetarian, vegan, and dairy-free options never tasted so picnicky.
And your picnic doesn't stop with amazing freshly grilled food. Entertainment, rentals, decor, venue selection. Get everything you need with one single call to Tasty Catering.
Inflatables and crafts for the kids, games and athletics for the teenagers, beverage packages and entertainment options for the adults. There's so much to choose from.
The best company picnics start at tastycatering.com. View picnic menus, entertainment options, picnic spots, and more. Visit tastycatering.com. tastycatering.com.
6:35. Let's get an update on the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Northbound Tri-State traffic is heavy from 87th to LaGrange Road, 75th to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Spot Adams Tollway a bit tight from the Tri-State to the Kennedy. Reagan Tollway stop and go Myers to the Tri-State. Veterans Avoid a little congestion approaching the Reagan Tollway. The Edens is 30 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 20. Kennedy, 32 minutes. O'Hare to downtown outbound 29. The Eisenhower, 49 minutes from 390 to downtown. 36 from Manheim, outbound 33 minutes to 390. Stevenson, 50 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36. Ryan is 26 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound 5 at 15. Traffic Service of Mothers Against Drunk Driving, supporting victims of drunk driving, drugged driving, and underage drinking at no charge. Call their 24-hour victim helpline, 877-MAD-HELP. Visit mad.org. That's MADD.org. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Thunderstorms likely. A few storms could be severe today, a high near 80. Scattered storms through the evening, then partly cloudy overnight, low 68. Currently, we have 68 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. How would you react to being targeted in public by the shame mob? You're wearing a MAGA hat. You're having a private conversation about Trump. You're not a Trump administration official, but, you know, once they start with cabinet members, I'm sure they'll work their way down the line. Everybody wants to get on in this act. And they're being encouraged by Democrat leaders. I mean, shockingly, you have to call Maxine Waters, No Justice, No Peace, Maxine, a leader, encouraged to target Trump officials in public.
And she's giving specifics of where they should be tracked down and made to feel uncomfortable.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them.
Like mob-like behavior. Mob.
Well, that's what it is, the shame mob. So, well, how would you react? 312-446-6. No, that's my cell number. You can call my cell number. I'll put you on speaker. Or you can just call the landline, 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. I have too many numbers running around.
I know, but and then, all right, so then Maxine Waters under pressure by Nancy Pelosi and by Chuck Schumer, who said that, you know, harassment is not American. She tried to walk it back and kind of apologize.
I believe in peaceful, very peaceful protests. I have not called for the harm of anybody. This president has lied again when he's saying that I called for harm to anyone.
Well, I mean, no justice, no peace, no sleep. Yeah, okay, fine. She's just calling for the shame mob to target you. That's fine. I'll concede her point.
How is this going to end? Honestly, what's the end game here? Because everyone's saying, you know, on CNN, civility starts with the president, and the president is the one who started this because of his tweets, because of his rhetoric on the campaign trail.
Yeah,
no, this is different. This is a new tactic that I've never seen before of shaming and screaming and holding up signs while somebody's having a meal in an upscale restaurant in D.C. That's Kristen Nielsen.
Oh gosh, I don't know. You're not familiar with the work of Code Pink?
Oh, what?
You're not familiar with the work of ACT UP. I mean, we have such short memories. The shame mob has been around for a long time. Is it being ratcheted up? Perhaps.
Well, did they ever targeted press secretaries before?
I mean, they called George W. Bush a Nazi too.
Right, but did they stand there with a sign while he was trying to eat dinner or lunch?
Cindy Richards sat outside his ranch in Crawford, Texas.
Oh, for 3 weeks?
I mean, I understand the circumstances are a bit different, but the idea of the left attacking those in power who are not fellow travelers and trying to undermine that at every score, trying to go after people's businesses, boycotts and the like, the protests, the shame mobbing. This is not new. I think it's just being ratcheted up.
Well, Sarah Huckabee Sanders responded yesterday to being asked to leave the Red Hen restaurant in Lexington, Virginia.
Many by now have heard that I was asked to leave a restaurant this weekend where I attempted to have dinner with my family. My husband and I politely left and went home. I was asked to leave because I work for President Trump. We are allowed to disagree, but we should be able to do so freely and without fear of harm. And this goes for all people regardless of politics. Some have chosen to push hate and vandalism against the restaurant that I was asked to leave from. A Hollywood actor publicly encouraged people to kidnap my children. And this weekend, a member of Congress called for people to push back and make clear to those serving their country in this administration that they are not welcome anywhere, anytime, for anything. Healthy debate on ideas and political philosophy is important. but the calls for harassment and push for any Trump supporter to avoid the public is unacceptable. America is a great country, and our ability to find solutions despite those disagreements is what makes us unique.
Now, we wanted to give you a bit of insight into what it was like to be in the Red Hen.
Oh, on
so,
that night?
So you know. So we did remember the old Folgers commercial?
Yes.
We
secretly replaced your
We put a
coffee.
camera in Red Hen, remember?
World-famous Arno's restaurant. We secretly replaced the fine coffee they normally serve with Folgers crystals. Our dark, sparkling Folgers crystals rich enough to top off a fabulous meal? Watch.
Do you have more? I mean,
And
oh, do you have more, sir?
we also replaced their coffee with Folgers crystals, in addition to putting a camera inside there. So here's how it would be to be in the Red Hen. There's an actual couple interacting with the waitstaff at the Red Hen.
Hey guys. Hello.
Hi, hello.
My name is Dana. I'll be taking care of you today. If you have any questions about the menu, please let me know.
I guess I do have a question about the chicken, if you could just tell us a little bit more about it.
The chicken is a heritage breed, woodland-raised chicken that's been fed a diet of sheep's milk, soy, and hazelnuts.
Okay, this is local?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to ask you just one more time, and it's local.
It is.
Is that USDA organic, or Oregon organic, or Portland organic?
It's just all across the board, organic.
The hazelnuts, these are local? How big is the area where the chickens are able to roam free?
I'm sorry to interrupt. I had exactly the same question.
4 acres. Give me just a second. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
It's nice. We're doing the right thing.
I'm too apologetic.
You are.
I drove way too slow here today, didn't I? I'm so weird with that gas pedal. The thing just moves the whole vehicle forward.
All right, so here is the chicken you'll be enjoying tonight.
You have this information. This is fantastic.
Absolutely. His name was Colin. Here are his papers, okay?
That's great. He looks like a happy little guy who runs around. A lot of friends, other chickens as friends. Putting his little wing around another one and kind of like palling around.
I don't know that I can speak to that level of intimate knowledge about him. They do a lot to make sure that their chickens are very happy.
When you say they, I mean, who are these people raising Colin?
It's a farm that's located about 30 miles south of Portland.
And you feel, you have a good relationship with this farm?
We do.
But it's not some guy on a yacht who lives in Miami
who's
just
saying
that he's organic.
It tears at the core of my being the idea of someone just cashing in on a trend like organic.
No, I know the type, no.
Yeah.
Tell you what, we're going to go check it out if you don't mind. Just if you could hold our seats.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Just want to make sure.
Just, thank you so much, Dana.
Sure.
So that's sort of the farm-to-table experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just so you know, if you haven't had that experience.
Portlandia? That's great. That is classic. I've never had the farm-to-table experience.
Or have you ever gone to a farm to visit your dinner before you have it?
I saw one on the way to Purdue last week.
That's not quite the same.
But I should stop by and kill the chicken that you eat, right?
So what are you going to do if the shame out comes for you, or if you had to go to a farm-to-table restaurant? The reactions could be similar. Jay in Lowell, Indiana, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, 2 points. I better say, how come we stand was black? We'd be hearing about this every day. And the second point, if they get here, what I say to do, the first one needs you pop in the mouth and knock on their rear end, they'll stop.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call, Jay. That would end it. Chris in Kansasville.
Yeah, we've all, in Wisconsin, we've gone through this already with Walker and Act 10.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
our legislators had people spit in their faces, poop in the Capitol. I mean, this is the same thing, just ramped up even a little more.
Thanks for the call,
But did they
Chris.
take it and throw it afterwards, like they did at that Thornton's?
Tim Hortons.
Hortons.
Yeah. Canadians. Bob in Waukegan.
Yeah, Maxine Waters is a total dolt. The last place that you want to get a crowd and start harassing someone is when they're pumping gas. Because if they have a lighter in their pocket, they're going to light your ass up like a Buddhist monk.
Okay, thanks for the call, Bob. We have to go to Firestarter there. Ed in Oak Brook.
You know what? I'm not shocked by Maxine Waters because I think she's probably the most stupidest person in Congress, maybe the galaxy. But what I am shocked is I just was flipping channels commentators like MSNBC and CNN, how they're actually laughing this off and think it's absolutely outstanding. And I think this is going to hurt the Democrats in November, because you got to be disgusted by this. I don't care what party you're with or who you are. If you're sitting on the fence, you're going to say, you know what, this is totally out of control.
All right. Thanks for the call, Ed. Dennis in Crystal Lake.
Well, Dan, I
Hey,
officially
Amy's
got my
here, too.
MAGA paraphernalia. Well, I know Amy's there, but she
Oh.
turned on my proposal for marriage, so I'm not talking to her now.
Well,
But
that happens
anyways,
a lot. She turns on a lot of people.
go to
Ed.
prom with you.
Dennis, it's not just you. Yeah.
don't worry about it, Amy. You don't have to. You know what I'm talking about. But anyways,
Please, yes.
I got my
sorry.
paraphernalia MAGA on, and I am going off my medication right now. And anybody that even says boo to me by tomorrow
Yeah.
will get their heart ripped out from them.
Wow, okay.
Any of you touch my
Take it
stuff,
easy.
Dennis will kill you.
Don't take his bar stool. either. Hey.
Okay, take it easy. Okay.
Now,
How about,
what would you? I'm always looking over my shoulder.
for what?
People. People.
They're out to get you.
Who want to harass me?
Yeah.
Where's
That's
the phone call coming from? Inside the house.
That doesn't happen. You don't get harassed.
I get the stink eye.
Nah.
I got the stink eye last night from my liberal. See, there's two conservatives on our street, and the two of us mow everyone's lawn. He does the east side, I do the west side. We clean the drain after it rains so that the flooding doesn't occur in the street.
Yeah.
My neighbor Mike, and we're getting tired of cleaning everyone's lawns.
Well, wait, who gave you the stink eye?
The neighbor across the street, who shall remain nameless.
Why
But he
don't
gave me the stink eye. He came up. She's like, I don't understand what's going on. And I didn't want to get into a political conversation with him.
It's
so-
a guy?
Yeah.
Why don't you do what Jay from Lowell, Indiana said and go up and pop him in the mouth? Knock him on his ass. That'll teach him. Teach him some manners.
I don't want to do that. I
Yeah.
just want him to clean his lawn, pull the weeds, paint the front porch.
It seems fair.
Bringing property values down.
I want to just take this this quick walk down to Memories Pizza Lane.
Uh-huh.
Remember Memories Pizza? It wasn't so long ago. It was 3 years. Memories Pizza in Indiana. Remember?
No, because I
They-
have a horrible memory.
They got
Tell me and I'll remember.
this is during the issue with all of like the Supreme Court yesterday vacated the decision in the Stutzman case for the florist for being forced to cater a gay wedding, just as the Masterpiece Cake Shop case, and that's why they vacated the Stutzman case, is because of their holding in the Masterpiece Cake Shop case. Well, Memories Pizza was in when this was all bubbling to the surface, florists and photographers and bakers and so forth. A reporter called the O'Connor family, who owned Memories Pizza, and just asked what their position was on the issue, and they just said, "Well, we wouldn't host a gay wedding." Because
that's right.
Remember,
That,
and it was they had never even denied anybody service. It was a hypothetical question that was posed to them, and they just gave their position, which is because of their Christian beliefs, they wouldn't cater a gay wedding, and then the left descended upon them, so much so that they shut down the restaurant. Memories Pizza closed. Now there's a GoFundMe page that raised like north of $800,000, maybe more. I don't remember, but I know it cleared that threshold. But the media totally misrepresented the position of the owners of Memories Pizza, and then the shame mob descended upon them from all quarters. I mean, the left is so good at flooding the zone immediately, and they just descend upon Memories Pizza, destroy a business, and that's to be applauded. But the same people are suggesting people writing negative Yelp reviews and so forth against Red Hen. Well, that's beyond the pale. Well, I mean, again, memories, like the corners of my mind. Tony in Olympia Fields.
Hey, how you doing, Dan and Amy?
Good.
Listen to your show a lot. Really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Dan, Maxine Waters does not represent African Americans or blacks like me, and Elijah Cummings. They do not represent us. They speak, but they're not. They've never really accomplished anything. They sit high on the hill, and then they verbalize everything as racist. Racist, or something that's convoluted that has nothing to do with what's going on in our country, in our nation, and in our community. Those people do not represent us. They do not speak for us. And I wish whites would quit looking at them as some type of spokesman for the majority of black people. Most of us loathe those people. We can't stand those people. They're ignorant, irrelevant, and way outdated.
All right. Thanks for the call, Tony. I appreciate it. I mean, I agree with you. I use her as a representative of the Democrat Party, not of black families and their views. But, you know, she's been elevated by the Democrat Party. But, no, I appreciate your perspective, Tony. Danny in Mount Prospect.
Hi, Dan. I'm so enjoying what Maxine is doing, and I love you kiddos. My day isn't complete if I miss you guys at all.
Thank you.
I was thinking about the Democratic Party platform with gun control. Do you think that what Maxine is doing is going to generate people buying more guns for protection, both the left and the right for their own protection? You think maybe Maxine might be destroying her party's platform? What do you think?
Thanks for the call, Dan. Well, I mean, I think she's certainly hurting the party politically, and I think there's some Democrats who recognize it, which is why she sort of tried to walk some of what she said back in, and others sort of tried to walk it back in for her. I think at minimum it's politically damaging. In terms of guns and the coming civil war, well, I think the left is going to be outmanned on that score, too.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
I'm Lou Dobbs. American Express scoring a Supreme Court victory, a case of mistaken identity causing headaches for a Connecticut restaurant. Those stories next.
Hey, this is Ricky from Banyan Hill. I want to get a few things straight. First off, I like freedom. Second, I like money. Fact is, I like freedom and money, which is why I love Freedom Checks, a unique investment that can secure your retirement income without being tied down to the government. And while I'm no genius, I am smart enough to follow an expert like Matt, who showed me how anyone has the chance to stake their claim on an estimated $34.6 billion payout. To get all the details from Matt, just go to myfreedomchecks.com. Thousands of people are already lined up to cash in. Take Doug, for example. He's a 46-year-old from Joplin, Missouri who's set to get a check for $24,075. Now, how much your check is depends on how much you put behind Matt's insights, but the potential here is undeniable. Of course, if you want the chance to grab your full fair share of this $34.6 billion, you must have your ducks in a row ASAP. So don't wait. Go see Matt at myfreedomchecks.com. That's www.myfreedomchecks.com.
American Express won big in the Supreme Court yesterday in a 5-4 decision. The court ruled that American Express didn't violate antitrust laws with its merchant contracts, barring merchants from urging customers to use Visa or other credit cards that charge stores lower fees. Economic reports due out today include an update on consumer confidence and a report on the direction of prices of residential real estate in 20 cities nationwide. A Connecticut restaurant called The Red Hen receiving threatening messages from people who confuse it with a similarly named restaurant in Lexington, Virginia. The Virginia restaurant refused service over the weekend to White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders and her family. The Connecticut Red Hen isn't affiliated in any way with the eatery in Virginia. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern, on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Risk mitigation is an important consideration that smart companies pay attention to in today's complicated business climate. Some of the greatest risks occur when your company hires new employees or when you execute new business financial relationships. When your company hires, leases, or conducts financial transactions, decisions are critical. That's why veteran-owned and operated Global Verification Network is a company you should know. Startups to Fortune 100s trust Global Verification Network, and so should you. They're a background screening and investigative services company dedicated to expert, timely, and affordable background screening services for employment, tenant screening, and business due diligence. Global Verification Network is headquartered in Chicagoland, a federally recognized veteran-owned small business, and never offshores data like many competitors. To request your company's risk analysis without obligation or cost, visit mygvn.com or call 877-695-1179 or online at mygvn.com. Global Verification Network, The risk mitigation experts, 877-695-1179.
Around here, I get things done. When our company needs supplies, we need them fast, and the quality better be great. When it comes to labels, I turn to Diversified Labeling Solutions here in Itasca, Illinois, with plants nationwide. They take care of me through their network of independent distributors. No matter if I need barcode labels for my warehouse racks, durable labels for my products, or even shipping labels, Diversified can produce what I need. And they have capacity, lots of it. I've had them produce over 100 million custom labels in one run on their high-speed automated flexographic production lines. Diversified even handled a job for a trade show our CEO set up when we needed just 100 labels. Normally, the cost would kill us, but with Diversified's digital fleet, their distributor had the labels produced within a few days at a great price. Contact Diversified Labeling Solutions at teamdls.com/radio. They'll have a skilled distributor take good care of you, and you'll receive 15% off your first order. Again, that's teamdls.com/radio.
Hey, Chicagoland, Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com. He's one of us, and he just gets it. Ryan, great to talk to you again. Look, obviously home prices are going up, and homes are moving fast. Somebody's looking to sell their home in the Chicagoland area. What do?
Well, if you're looking to sell your house, I tell you, just make up a price and put a for sale by owner sign out in the front yard, and you should have no problem selling that house. There's just not enough inventory. There's more buyers out there than there are sellers. But if you're thinking about buying a house, that's where you really better be on your A game. You better be pre-approved, and pre-approved by a strong mortgage lender. At the Home Loan Expert Office, when we pre-approve you to buy a house, we go over your credit with you. We go over interest rates, payments, give you a good idea of what you should be looking for and what your price points are. And then we pre-approve you on a gold piece of paper. Literally, our pre-approvals are written on gold. And we send those to the agents. They know that you're ready to buy. Don't miss the house of your dreams. Get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
In my practice, I was getting to the point where I couldn't have the strength to see that many patients anymore. I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis. It really affected my breathing and the strength that I had. And I was introduced to the fruits and veggies. Just slowly, my strength started to come back. And it was because of the good nutrition. I can't say enough good for Balance of Nature and what it's done for me. I recommend it to everybody.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
President Trump doesn't want more immigration judges. He wants ICE and Border Patrol. Well, I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We have 700,000 people waiting to go on trial.
But he told a rally in South Carolina he wants a different system.
We want to tell people, I'm sorry, you're coming into the country illegally. We don't want you in the country. That's it. It's now over.
But Democrats decry his zero-tolerance policy. And a week after the president's executive order to stop separating kids from parents coming here illegally, the Customs and Border Protection Commissioner says they've stopped prosecuting the parents unless they have a criminal history. And more than 500 kids have been reunited with their moms and dads. The rally last night was for South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster, who's in a Republican primary runoff today.
He said, we need strong borders. We have to stop crime. We want lower taxes.
McMaster's opponent is Trump-like and also supports the president. John Warren's a millionaire businessman making his first run for office. There's voting in 6 other states today. Fox's Rachel Sutherland details a few of the races live from Washington.
Dave, 2 Trump supporters are duking it out for a chance to represent New York, Staten Island in the House. Dan Donovan, who has the backing of the president, says former Congressman and ex-convict Michael Grimm is a flawed candidate.
My opponent can't win a general election in November.
Grimm says don't count him out.
If I don't win this primary, we will lose this seat.
In Utah, Mitt Romney is trying to make a political comeback. He's battling Mike Kennedy as he seeks the seat of retiring Senator Orrin Hatch. In Maryland, famed leaker Chelsea Manning is challenging longtime Democratic Senator Ben Cardin. Dave.
Rachel, President Trump's just tweeted about Harley Davidson. The day after the company announced it would shift production overseas for motorcycles sold in Europe to avoid new tariffs on U.S. products. Well, the president wrote Harley-Davidson already announced they'd move some operations to Thailand earlier this year, so they're using tariffs/trade war as an excuse. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
67 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Chicago police are investigating after at least 6 were shot in the Bronzeville neighborhood. Authorities say the victims overnight were shot in the 3900 block of Vincennes Avenue when someone opened fire. No arrests have been made. No one knows when the U.S. Supreme Court will decide a landmark case impacting the state of Illinois and public sector unions. Governor Bruce Rauner yesterday was in Washington, D.C. He will remain there today to see if the court will decide the Janus case. Authorities are investigating a hit-and-run crash over the weekend that killed a local softball coach in Oswego. Investigators believe a driver took off after hitting Amanda Stanton near Plainfield Road Sunday. Detectives are searching for a silver or gray Chrysler Pacifica with front-end damage. Mayor Emanuel reviving the city's Department of Housing that was disbanded 10 years ago. AM 560's David Stewart explains why.
Mayor Emanuel's been under fire for several years for not doing enough to address the shortage of affordable housing, but now the city says it will recreate a housing department to support access to housing in all neighborhoods. The move was immediately criticized as election year pandering by challengers Paul Vallis and Gary McCarthy, and even some Emanuel allies on the city council complained that the media heard about it before they did. The announcement of a new department follows last week's announcement of a seed fund to provide loans to housing developers to buy and rehab existing buildings if they make 20% of the units affordable. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
A man who spent nearly a decade behind bars is free after Cook County prosecutors dropped gun charges against him because of links to corrupt ex-Chicago Police Sergeant Ronald Watts. Anthony McDaniel was greeted by family after walking out of the Stateville Correctional Center yesterday. Cubs fell to the Dodgers in L.A. 2-1. Cubs pitcher Yu Darvish feeling a little sore after a minor league rehab start, but he did strike out 5 over 5 innings of work for Class A South Bend. White Sox welcome the Twins to town tonight for the start of a 3-game set. 7:04, the news service of Unbound.org. Right now there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
It's become a summer tradition. Rockin' for the Troops returns this summer on July 14th at Northwestern Medicine Field in Geneva, home of the Kane County Cougars. Don't miss this year's lineup featuring Seventh Heaven, Ayla Brown, Rocky Lynn, The Voices, and Ryan Weaver. Proceeds will benefit Operation Support Our Troops America. Get your tickets today at rockinforthetroops.org. That's rockinforthetroops.org.
When posting on most job sites, you get candidates.
I'm the sales director.
I'm the sales
director you're looking for.
But when you post on Indeed.com, you get the candidates just right for you.
I'm a sales director with an MBA, over 10 years experience, who's also fluent in Japanese.
With Indeed, you can add screener questions for a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates.
Arigato.
Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
You don't remember days, you remember moments. But when the old tapes and photos that hold your cherished memories degrade, or worse, you lose them, they're gone forever. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger. We started Legacy Box to help you preserve those irreplaceable moments.
Load your Legacy Box with your old tapes, film, pictures, and audio, and send them in. You'll get them back on DVD or a convenient thumb drive.
Visit legacybox.com/USA. And for a limited time, you'll get 40% off your order. legacybox.com/USA.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. I don't think Plato had former CIA Director General Michael Hayden's tweet comparing Trump immigration policy to the Birkenau death camp at Auschwitz in mind when he conceived of the Noble Lie. Nor would Plato likely place under the Noble Lie header the D.C. Press Corps' magical storytelling about a 2-year-old Time magazine cover girl who was separated from her father in Honduras by her mother, but never separated from her mother by Border Patrol or anyone named Trump, not even Peter Fonda's nemesis Barron. The lies told by elites these days are intended to foment social unrest, not cohesion. The ignoble truth is that today's elites cover their tracks by feeding the public supersized whoppers to stunt their appetites for edifying information and dull their attention spans. Never mind that the fix was in at FBI. See Trump's criticism of Comey as a veiled predicate to martial law. Never mind that family separation was not new policy at the border and that only the enforcement of it was new. Instead, understand this as an existential battle not for border security, but against bigotry. In other news, Paul Manafort has pled guilty to a violent crime for which he was not charged. ABC News reports.
This hourly segment is brought to you by St. John's Northwestern Military Academy. More info online at sjnma.org.
7:07. Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike and Elgin. McLean is closed between Highland and Wing after an early morning wreck. West Chicago Cox is closed. Roosevelt to Averill due to a crash. Eden's is 29 minutes from Lake Cook Junction up on 22. Kennedy inbound at Lawrence, going to crash in the left lane. 50 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 22 from Montrose, 24 in the Express. Outbound 32 minutes to O'Hare. The Eisenhower is 50 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 36. Stevenson from 355 to Lakeshore Drive is 54 minutes. Outbound 38. Ryan, 95th to downtown, 30 minutes. I-57, Bishop Ford, both 17 minutes from I-80 to the merge. Northbound Tri-State, knotted up from 95th to the Hinsdale Oasis, then from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. But Adams Tollway tight, Tri-State to the Kennedy, Reagan Tollway from 22nd to the Tri-State, northbound Veterans Memorial, those 75th most of the way to St. Charles. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Flash flood watch in effect from 1 p.m. this afternoon and through late tonight. Mostly cloudy and humid today with thunderstorms. Strong late in the day, which could bring flash flooding and damaging winds, high 79. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently clouds and 68. Next news 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Real Estate Revealed with Randy Barcella. Sunday mornings starting at 8.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I remarked upon this yesterday, this story that broke on Friday from Judicial Watch. Now, this, remember, was the shadow Department of Justice for the Obama administration's 8 years and may need to continue to be. Through FOIA, Judicial Watch released emails they obtained from the IRS, including in those emails, John McCain's former staff director and chief counsel on the Senate Homeland Security Permanent Subcommittee, his name is Henry Kerner, was a collaborator with Lois Lerner, Kerner and Lerner.
Sounds like a law firm.
Or a CNN show. It probably will become a CNN show.
Don't give them any ideas.
Kerner was part of the cabal there at IRS to illegally target conservative groups seeking nonprofit status for their religious and or political beliefs. In an April 30th, 2013 meeting between Kerner, Lerner, and other IRS officials, Kerner tells Lerner, Steve Miller, then chief of staff to IRS commissioner, maybe the solution is to audit so many that it is financially ruinous. In response, Lerner said it's her job to oversee it all. The financially ruinous auditing of conservative groups to prevent them from obtaining nonprofit status for which they're otherwise entitled on the merits. And remember, Lois Lerner pleaded the fifth. John Koskinen just finally replaced as IRS commissioner by Trump a couple of months ago.
That took way too long.
Should have been day one. And nobody...
Why did it take so long?
Nobody has been held to account in any material way.
No one's been charged criminally.
The illegal targeting of Americans in violation of the First Amendment for their religious and political beliefs by the most weaponized federal agency that isn't a part of the military. I mean, it doesn't get more substantial than that. And so this week we have last week, complete attention on arguing against law enforcement for people coming to this country illegally, while we're ignoring law enforcement on behalf of American citizens who were illegally targeted by the federal government. You got that? Could things be more upside down? For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined again by Tom Fitton, who is the president of Judicial Watch and has also served as a shadow attorney general per my shadow Justice Department reference. Tom Fitton, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
So, I mean, thank you for staying on this case and Judicial Watch for staying on this case of this IRS scandal, which is just so woefully underreported. It's hard for me to properly describe it, I suppose. But what else do we know about Henry Kerner and his involvement with this illegal activity that was going on at IRS?
Well, it was a meeting with, they were the minority staff, the Republicans at the time, and you would have thought based on contacts they gave to us, they communicated with us after we first reported on the meeting, because we knew there was a meeting that took place. We reported on it 3 years ago, and the pushback from McCain's office was, we're the minority staff. We're just there along for the ride. This is all run by the Democrats. And then we get 11 pages of meeting notes that show the minority staff member, Mr. Kerner, is as heavily involved as the Democrat, all pushing the IRS to audit and target these 501c4 groups, political advocacy groups, which they don't mention Tea Party in the notes, but everyone knew at the time they were talking about Republican and conservative-oriented groups, and that's exactly what was going on in the IRS. They were suppressing them, and then they had this idea that Kerner presented, well, why don't you just audit them in a financially ruinous manner, because McCain and his ilk did not like the idea of these free groups out there after the McCain-Feingold measure was overturned in large measure by the Supreme Court and Citizens United. You remember President Obama yelled about it, and McCain hated the decision as well, so they were using the IRS to suppress political speech in response because the law was overturned. Really outrageous stuff, and it just shows you the investigation of the targeting was of bipartisan nature.
So you think, obviously, Senator John McCain knew about Kerner's actions, and did he encourage him to do what he did? I mean, did he get a direct order, you think, from John McCain?
Oh, I don't know. But, he's a top staff member, so he's responsible for what he did. And, the irony is Kerner is now President Trump's appointee in Office of Special Counsel, which is one of the lead ethics agencies for the executive branch. So now he's a presidential appointee. But Mr. McCain has to take ownership here. And his response is, well, we didn't tell him to target the Tea Party, but he told them to target every group in America that was engaged in political advocacy at the time, and which meant, as you know, from the IRS's perspective, was go after the conservatives.
And you make the note that McCain just issued a statement after that 2013 meeting that Judicial Watch reported on, that the reports claiming his office was involved is just false. It just gives like the blanket denial, but he doesn't address the specifics, which is usually a tell.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess that was the response again this year after this release, that that story's already been debunked. I've been debunked. I love it when they use the word debunked. Usually it's the exact opposite. He wasn't involved in Tea Party targeting and criticized it, which is true. But the fact is his top person was encouraging Lois Lerner to engage in illegal activity.
And where is Lois Lerner these days? Enjoying her retirement?
And her pension?
I don't know. I would presume so.
You make the note in here that, and obviously per this revelation on Friday, that you're not done with the IRS scandal, even if the political class and the D.C. press corps is. So what's next in trying to get some reckoning for people who had their First Amendment rights violated by the federal government?
Well, separately, some lawsuits have been settled, but more documents are coming out. We have other documents we're reviewing. We don't know exactly what the documents are going to show, but this Justice Department, the Sessions Justice Department, went back and we looked at the IRS scandal last year, decided they weren't going to prosecute, which was outrageous.
Right. And
maybe the release of more information will give them second thoughts and lead to the public pressure for some criminal accountability for what went on.
And on another matter, I note since she is the person of the day, Maxine Waters, you have filed, Judicial Watch has filed an ethics complaint against Maxine Waters. Can you describe the nature of that complaint?
Well, it's simple. The number one rule in the House Ethics Manual, the House Ethics Rules, is that you can't act in a way that brings discredit upon the House. And it seems to me when you're encouraging intimidation, violence, and assault, that tends to bring discredit on the House. So we filed an ethics complaint.
Oh, did you?
So it's up.
Oh, sorry. Did you hear her non-apology last night?
Oh yeah, I see. She doubled down, but that's Maxine Waters, and she's going to say what she's going to say. The question is the House going to endorse that language by allowing her to go by unpunished for what she said? It's a dangerous situation we're in when you have a national political figure like Maxine Waters, and people on our side who disagree with her, think she's a joke or not. She's no joke. She's not stupid. She has a significant political following, and she's out there advocating violence, assault, and harassment of federal government officials.
Although
and she doesn't say it's violent, and now to be clear,
right,
she doesn't say it's violence and assault. But when you say get a crowd together and push back in a private establishment like a gas station or a restaurant, that's the very definition of you're calling for a riot, essentially.
Right.
Which she has a lot of experience,
property.
and she has a lot of experience in participating in riots. So there's a record there. But now the standard of bringing disgrace upon the House, I mean, you would clean out most of Congress by that standard, which may be a good thing.
Well, admittedly, it's a low standard, and there's but she even falls beneath that in terms of this type of behavior.
Just because this is what you guys do, I just wanted to get your reaction to another story that got subordinated to all the immigration stuff last week. And this was a week ago Friday. Devin Nunes, Trey Gowdy, Speaker Ryan meet with Christopher Wray, Rod Rosenstein, say, produce the documents that we have subpoenaed, or there's going to be hell to pay, how much ever hell we can bring through the House, sort of Nunes implying perhaps they'd move to impeach Rosenstein, for example. Well, the week came and went, and nothing happened, as is often the case. And then the Justice Department, Washington Examiner reporting, responded to Nunes and his latest deadline of last week Friday, just telling him that Justice had already produced the documents and answers he had been inquiring about. Well, then why did they have the meeting a week ago Friday if they've already gotten everything that they wanted? So just because this is your business and you guys are better at it than anybody, how do you interpret and assess this dance going on between the House Republican caucus and the names I mentioned and Justice?
It will go on until the end of the Trump presidency and beyond it, unless the president directly intervenes. Justice Department and the FBI are not going to voluntarily give up these documents, which are the Spygate documents, essentially. What was behind the spying on Donald Trump? And I'm convinced they're not going to do it because Robert Mueller is the inheritor of that investigation, and it will further undermine and destroy his investigation. So you've got the deep state protecting it. They're not going to do it voluntarily, and they're going to play a shell game, do the modified limited hangout approach. We may get more information, but we're not going to get all the information necessary to make decisions, and the American people hold these government officials to account what went on during the Obama administration and continued during the Trump administration by the deep state in terms of spying and targeting President Trump. The president needs to step in.
All right. He is Tom Fitton, the president of Judicial Watch, judicialwatch.org. their motto, because no one is above the law, and they act in furtherance of that principle. Tom, thanks so much for joining us again. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, it's happened again. We'll explain. But first, here's your forecast. Rainy one today. Thunderstorms, some light rain coming through the area right now. A high of 80 degrees. Tonight, a severe evening thunderstorm that could bring some flooding and high winds. And then for tomorrow, no rain. It's just going to be humid around here, some clouds and sun, and a high of 79 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection's Traffic Center. How's it going out there? Here's Jim Telemonte.
That's backed up on the Kennedy outbound. Amy and Dan, past Division. You got a rollover crash. 2 left lanes are blocked. Jam starts before Ohio now. It is 40 minutes to get from downtown to O'Hare. 20 to get to the junction. Inbound Kennedy. Lawrence crashes down the right shoulder. 50 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Express lanes take longer. Eden's 20 minutes like Cook Junction. Outbound 25. Eisenhower. 55 minutes. 390 to downtown. 40 from Manheim. Outbound 36 minutes. 390. Stevenson, 54 minutes, 355 for the drive. Outbound 38. Ryan, 31 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State bottled up 95th to the Hinsdale Oasis from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound Van Ness Memorial slows 75th to St. Charles. Northbound 53 from Algonquin to Kirchhoff crash in the left lane. Northwest Indiana's fine. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
No. You sing live. You don't sing at all.
Oh, no. Oh.
Gentlemen, June is Men's Health Month. Do you know your numbers? You may know your blood pressure and cholesterol, but do you know your testosterone and prostate numbers? I know mine. I went to Low T Center. They made it quick and easy. You'll know your results in about 20 minutes. At Low T Center, most health insurance is accepted. They'll even verify your insurance for you. Low T Center's physicians have been exclusively diagnosing and treating men for low testosterone for years. And in honor of Men's Health Month, Low T Center is offering a special testosterone and prostate level test for just $50. Take advantage of this offer, especially if you haven't met your deductible yet, or you have a high copay, or simply don't have insurance. If you've noticed a decline in energy or motivation, you may have low testosterone. Low T makes you feel tired and grumpy, can raise your cholesterol and cause weight gain. Low T Center's experienced medical staff will educate you on the benefits and risks of testosterone replacement. So do what I did. Get your numbers checked. You owe it to yourself. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. The number 312-239-3427. Call 312-239-3427 or go to lowtcenter.com.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I went to have my blood test done a few weeks ago, and I met the doctor, and he was really encouraged by my progress, and I showed him what I was taking, and he started looking at all the ingredients, and he said, I'm really impressed with the shiitake mushroom. And he said, this stuff, it could clean out your arteries. And I'm like, oh, wow. He said, you may be onto something here. And he said, you just keep that up, and maybe you can start cutting back on your medication. And he says, you're helping your health by doing that. And I'm like, whoa, endorsement by the doctor.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
When you conceal carry, you want to carry responsibly, safely, and with confidence. You want UltiClip. UltiClip was designed out of necessity. Traditional holster clips fail in performance, losing their retention or breaking. With UltiClip, you get the ultimate carry solution that replaces standard holster clips and features a smaller visible footprint than other clips. The patented design gains over 10 times the holster retention for better security and maximum concealment. Plus, UltiClip features the first multi-purpose tool and clip combo. And UltiClip isn't just for holsters. It can also be used for knife sheaths. Police departments are using UltiClip to secure their body cameras, badges, and other equipment. Stop wasting money searching for the right holster when you can upgrade and improve your current holster with UltiClip. Proudly made in the USA from Spring Steel and named Gear of the Year by Gun Digest. Go to ulticlip.com to shop and learn more about ways you can use the best retention clip available. That's ULTIClip.com. Ulticlip.com for ultimate retention and concealment.
Sheet metal is a big part of commercial and industrial facilities. Look around your business and you'll quickly notice how many components use sheet metal. From fan systems and hoods to machinery guards and much more. For top quality sheet metal work, get to know the pros at Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial sheet metal contractor that can fabricate all types of alloys up to 1-inch plate. We perform jobs including chutes, hoppers, stacks, siding, and dust collection. We work in material handling facilities including steel, chemical, agricultural, food processing plants, and more. Vans Industrial can also design and perform the engineering for a complete turnkey installation. Our quality work is installed by trained mechanics who will work closely with you to make sure the job is done right.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
Smokers, are you one of the millions of people who want to quit smoking because of health problems, expenses, or maybe you're just tired of the smell of smoke on your clothes and breath? Transform your life now with new Sig-Free Smartband. Sig-Free is an automated wearable smartband for smokers who want an all-natural, healthy, and affordable non-nicotine, non-invasive solution to quitting. Sig-Free is a technology-driven solution, freeing you from the dangers of smoking without doctor's exams or the side effects of drugs and nicotine replacement products. Just wear Sig-Free, answer your phone, and listen to your self-help messages. Your friends and family will love you for it, and they'll smell the difference. Become Sig-Free, and you can tell everyone, I morphed from a smoker to a healthier non-smoker.
For more information, go to imorphed.com. That's imorphed.com. IMORPHED.com. imorphed.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, remember this instant classic from last week? President Trump walking through the rotunda at the Capitol building, and this was yelled in his direction.
She a dainty flower.
Mr. President.
F.
Correct.
You.
She's
an intern, right?
Yeah, the delicate flower has been identified. Caitlin Marriott. She's a 21-year-old intern in the office of Democrat New Hampshire Senator Maggie Hassan, and she, I believe, is a Keene State College undergrad. She has been suspended. Her congressional intern ID badge revoked. But she is not losing her internship, thank goodness.
Wow.
Thank goodness. I wonder where she learned such manners.
Well, are you ready for this? Fox News was told that her comment was, quote unquote, impulsive, and that the interns had been joking about yelling to Trump, and she was reportedly egged on by other interns to shout the obscenity.
Mm-hmm.
So, plausible deniability. I mean, she made a mistake that's not the decorum that you follow.
The college campus. I wonder if that's the culprit here, or maybe the left, the civility police on the left. I wonder if that's the culprit. But the important thing is, like all of the politicians in her current work environment, she is not being held accountable. So that's the important thing. She keeps the internship.
Yeah, until August. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Speaking of someone who's on the clock, former Governor Rauner is facing a third candidate for governor. Well, fourth, I guess, if the Libertarian gets on the ballot. But State Senator Sam McCann, running under the Conservative Party, filed his candidacy for governor yesterday. We'll talk to him at 7:37.
And David French joins us at 8:38. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Cloudy skies, rain on the way, and 67 degrees. U.S. Customs and Border Protection will no longer be recommending prosecution for people who illegally cross the border with children. The agency's commissioner says the temporary stoppage of prosecutions stems from President Trump's executive order last week ending the separation of families. The Pawnee fire in Northern California keeps burning out of control. It grew a lot yesterday, now covering more than 10,000 acres in Lake County, about 70 miles northwest of Sacramento. A veteran fire captain is dead this morning after a California man started a blaze to lure firefighters to his home and then shot at them. It happened at a retirement home in Long Beach. 77-year-old Thomas Kim is charged with suspicion of murder, attempted murder, and arson. The Food and Drug Administration is greenlighting the first ever pharmaceutical drug made of marijuana. The drug does not produce a high. Epidiolex will be on the market in the fall. Chicago police are investigating after at least 6 were shot in the Bronzeville neighborhood. The victim standing in the 3900 block of Vincennes Avenue last night when someone opened fire. 2 Chicago principals removed from their positions as CPS investigates how administrators handled sex abuse allegations. Simeon High Principal Dr. Sheldon House and Good STEM Academy Principal Armando Rodriguez were both relieved of their duties yesterday. Developers revealing new plans for redevelopment of Chicago's Union Station. The 2 groups, Riverside Investment and Convexity Properties, unveiled details last night of their proposals that would add a hotel, apartments, and retail tenants to the historic West Loop Station. Cubs fell to the Dodgers in L.A. 2-1. White Sox welcomed the Twins to town tonight. And the news is a service of Compassion International. Sponsoring a child with compassion is the most effective way to end extreme child poverty. Release a child from poverty when you become a Compassion sponsor. Choose your child now at compassion.com/radio. Do your part to release a child from poverty today. 7:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager, The Dennis Prager Show.
One of the reasons that there are no competing goods for the left on this issue is they don't really care if we are inundated with illegal immigrants. That's one reason. Another reason is everything is seen in the prism of how can it hurt this administration.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
Hey, Chicagoland, Dan Proft here. I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at thehomeloanexpert.com. He's one of us, and Ryan just gets it. People are looking to buy a home right now. What do they do?
It's a great question, and it's a tight real estate market right now. I think most people know that, especially if you're actively looking to buy a house. Maybe you're on Zillow, Realtor.com, you got the apps on your phone, you're stalking them at work, and you're waiting for that right house to hit the market. Well, when it does, you better be pre-approved, and you better be pre-approved by a strong mortgage lender like the Home Loan Expert team. If you think you're the only one watching those same neighborhoods and watching those same streets, you're dead wrong. There's a lot of people out there waiting and watching. And when that house hits the market, boom, goes under contract fast. Get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com, and you'll give yourself a big advantage when you do find that house. Go in there, get in there with your agent. You like it, write an offer, throw the pre-approval on the table. You should get an accepted contract. I'm Ryan Kelly, the Home Loan Expert. No one makes buying a home easier. Get pre-approved at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC.
7:35. Let's get an update on the roads and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Northbound Veterans Memorial Tollway. It's stop and go from Boughton pretty much all the way to St. Charles. Then from the Army Trail Toll to 290. And northbound 53 has delays. Algonquin to Kershaw. Crash in the left lane. Jam on inbound I-57. Crawford past Kedzie. There's a rollover in the 2 left lanes there. Eden's 19 minutes, like Cook to Montrose. Outbound it's 25. Kennedy, 55 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 48. There's a crash past Division. 2 right lanes are now blocked with that. The Eisenhower, 55 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 47. Stevenson, 54 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 38. Ryan is 31 minutes, 95th to downtown. Traffic, service of Compassion International. For just $5 a day, you can sponsor a child through Compassion International. It's pocket change to you. It's life-changing for a child in need. Be part of the change. Become a sponsor now at compassion.com/radio. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Thunderstorms likely. A few of those storms could be severe with a high near 80. Currently, we have 68 degrees. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Lou Bridges Show, a show about the greatest financial crime in history. Saturday mornings at 8 on AM 560, The Answer.
Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. So the campaign has been joined. Campaign for Illinois Governor, State Senator Sam McCann from Macoupin County. His district runs from Macoupin County along the border to central Illinois, just to Sangamon County. He was a supporter of organized labor, supported legislation advanced by the public sector unions that put him at odds with the Republican caucus and Governor Rauner. And now, rather than run for re-election as state senator, as we talked to him several weeks back, he has chosen to run as an independent candidate for governor under the Conservative Party banner. He turned in roughly 65,000 petition signatures to the State Board of Elections in Springfield yesterday. That's 40,000 more than a third-party candidate needs. So that's a significant amount of signatures he got in a relatively short period of time.
Shows there's an appetite out there for another candidate.
Well, I'll tell you, I've seen some polling in northwest suburban Cook County, for example, where I would hazard to say they don't know who Sam McCann is yet. But he was getting 13% of the vote, according to this poll, just by not being Pritzker or Rauner. So could be interesting, particularly if he has resources to run a campaign, not at the level of billionaires, but at the level of generating the kind of awareness where people understand who he is and what choice he presents. For more on that very topic, we're pleased to be joined by State Senator Sam McCann. Sam, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Good morning, Dan and Amy. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So you filed yesterday, so you're off to the races, and you're running for governor. Why?
Well, first of all, I feel called to do so. I think that we're to the point in Illinois we're to the point in Illinois that it's either fight or leave, right? What we have, if we get 4 more years of what we have had, which is failure, that why stick around? If we get 4 more years of total Democratic control like we had for nearly 20 years before, total Chicago machine dominance, why stick around? So the only option left is to fight. And I do believe that it's worth fighting for. I believe that Illinois is an amazing state. We have far more going for us than we hear about on a daily basis. We've been devoid of any real leadership in Springfield for a couple of generations now. And so I'm running to bring true servant leadership back to the State House. Listen to everybody. Can't make everybody happy. Humanly impossible. But I can listen to everybody and work to develop policies that will move everybody up the ladder if they're willing to work hard for it.
Are you going to be spending a lot of time in Chicago, in Cook County, to get to know some of the voters here?
I quite frankly am going to be spending a lot of time all over the state. Obviously, I will be in the northeastern part of the state, Chicago and Cook County, the suburbs, but also downstate. There's this other part of Illinois that some folks have heard about and some folks haven't. But for those of us who are from those other 96 or so counties, such as myself, there's a lot of wonderful people who are also looking for some opportunity and to be heard, to be listened to, and to have their ideas carried to the seat of government on behalf of themselves. So I plan on being in all parts of the state.
Yeah, outside of Chicago, there's the state called Illinois, right?
Exactly.
So the choice. I mean, you're an independent candidate. It's an independent candidacy. There's no established conservative party, right? So, but you chose that banner to run under, the Conservative Party. Why?
Because I've always considered myself a conservative. I've always voted Republican, but by and large, 99% of the time, I have voted Republican. That's one of the reasons I chose to run as a Republican back in the 2010 cycle. But I really identify more as a Christian, an American, an Illinoisan, a husband, and a father first, before party. You know, most people have gotten it. I shouldn't say most people, but it seems like a lot of people have gotten more religious about their politics than they are their religion. They're more devoted to a party than they are to the country or the Constitution. So I'm a conservative, and I believe that the Republican Party could be the conservative party of the state if the leadership of the Republican Party would lead its own platform and follow it.
Well, speaking of leadership, the leadership of the country, President Trump, are you a Trump supporter?
I am. You'll notice I didn't say the National Republican Party. I said the Illinois Republican Party. You're right. I think the National Republican Party is doing pretty well, especially under the leadership of President Trump. It's the Illinois Republican Party under, I guess we could call it leadership. I could probably come up with a few other words. I'm not sure I could use them on the radio to describe what we've had for the last few years when it comes out of the highest portions of the hierarchy of the Illinois Republican Party. I mean, we have an Illinois Republican governor a Republican governor who refuses to meet with or utter the name of the Republican president. After 8 years of Obama, we get a Republican president. Now we have a Republican governor, and he won't even say his name. And he's afraid to say his name because he doesn't stand for anything that the Republican platform stands for. I don't even know why Madigan and the Chicago Machine are running Pritzker or anyone else. I think Bruce Brown has been probably one of the finest progressive governors that the state of Illinois has ever had. They've gotten more accomplished under Rauner than they could have ever dreamed of accomplishing under Blagojevich or Quinn or if Pritzker were to win.
With respect to your candidacy, you know conspiracy theories abound, right? That you're a Madigan plant, you're put up as a third-party candidate to take votes away from Pritzker to ensure his victory, that you're being financed by the public sector unions, with which you do have a close relationship. You have taken money from the public sector unions. A lot of Republicans have. Not something I encourage, but that's a fact. And so how do you address those theories that you're, doing somebody else's bidding and you're backed by the public sector unions and essentially the Democrats?
First of all, I'm doing this, as I said earlier, as a calling. I believe it's the right thing to do. I believe my state needs me. I believe my family needs me to step up as the head of my family. I believe my community needs me. I believe my county needs me. I believe my state needs me. Not because I'm the most qualified person for the job in Illinois. I don't believe I am. I think there are plenty of more qualified people to be governor of Illinois, and he would do a fantastic job. Unfortunately, none of them stood up. The only other two guys who have stood up, I don't believe would do a better job. I believe I can do a better job than the two main candidates at this point who have stood up. So to address all of that, I haven't received any, again, as you pointed out, Dan, many Republicans, especially downstate Republicans where the state facilities are, have taken contributions from public sector unions. And first of all, just because somebody gives me a contribution doesn't mean that that's how I'm going to vote.
True.
I think that's offensive. Quite frankly, that's offensive, right? I mean, you brought this up in our last interview. There have been several votes that I have not voted the way unions have wanted me to vote, or business have wanted me to vote. Maybe a business entity gave me a contribution, and I didn't vote the way they. My vote isn't for sale. The office isn't for sale. If you want to support me with a check, that's great. I appreciate it. But at the end of the day, I'm going to use my 4C formula to figure out how I'm going to vote. And I'll take this same formula to the second floor of the Capitol building. And first comes the Constitution. If it's not constitutional, I don't even go to the next 3 C's. And then the next one comes down to my conscience, my constituents, or the people. And then the 4th C is a healthy dose of common sense. So that's how I vote. So that being said, how do I address these people who say that this is public sector unions? Well, guess what? I haven't received any contribution or really any contact from public sector unions in a long time. In case you haven't been paying attention, they've endorsed Pritzker, as I told you the last time we interviewed 2 months ago, that they would, and they have. I assumed they would, and they did. The only entity, the only union entity that I've gotten any support from in this run is Local 150, and I'm thankful. Thank God they have given me that support. And for all the conservatives listening out there, if you would like to change that dynamic and add something to the mix, we'll be happy to take that contribution.
And
thank God.
Yeah, remind us where we can make a contribution, or what's your website?
McCannforIllinois.com. McCannforIllinois.com. Thank God that Local 150 realized that 50% of their union members are conservatives and or Republicans, and they want to give them a choice. They don't want to just give money to somebody that their members, half their membership, can't support. Thank God. I wish more organizations, whether they be organized labor or from the business community, if they would understand that this isn't just a binary choice. You know, the Constitution doesn't use the word Democrat, doesn't use the word Republican, doesn't use the term political party. The 2 major parties have made us believe that this is a binary choice. And why have they made us believe that? Because it benefits them to make us believe that. Nowhere in the Constitution, and I don't believe anywhere in the thought processes of the Founding Fathers that they believe that this should ever come down to a binary choice where one guy is sitting at the top of one pyramid and another guy is sitting at the top of another pyramid, and they're each amassing power unto themselves. This should be about a government of, by, and for the people, and by definition, it takes more than a 2-party system. The 2-party system is, we talk about how we need a 2-party system. We've had a 1-party system in Illinois too long. No, we've had a 2-party system. That's the problem in Illinois. It's not broken; it's fixed.
Yeah, someone once said.
Parties fixed it a long time ago, right? They fixed it a long time ago. We're out to unfix it.
Yeah, just to establish a baseline. Local 150, operating engineers, it's one of the trade unions. So Sam, if you're not going to be supported by the public sector unions because they're with Spalding, and if you're not going to be supported by the billionaire class that's more inclined to be with Rauner to the extent they participate at all, how do you put together the resources necessary to run a competitive campaign? Or is the goal here just to establish the Conservative Party as a third party candidate, a third party party, so you can lower the ballot access requirements and have Conservative Party candidates running into the future? What's the goal here?
What you just said there is as the alternative is a secondary goal. That it is, but it is not the primary goal. The primary goal in the 2018 cycle is to become, for myself to become governor, and Aaron Marine to become lieutenant governor of the state of Illinois. Aaron is my running mate. We believe that this state cannot withstand 4 more years of the combine's control. Now, it would be nice that if I guess as a secondary factor, as a secondary goal, if we can lower that threshold for third parties to get on the ballot, that is awesome. That is a fantastic benefit.
And what's the background of your running mate?
He is actually a combat Marine Corps veteran. He currently works for the state of Illinois at the Department of Revenue. He is you're again, Dan, this comes back to, I remember you and I having a conversation in Macoupin. Actually, I think where we were at was right on the Macoupin-Montgomery County line at the Holiday Inn, the old Holiday Inn there at Litchfield, and when you were running for governor back in 2010. And I remember asking you your stance on right to work, and you told me at that time that you weren't for right to work because you didn't particularly care for public sector unions. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. As you might imagine, yesterday and today have been a little busy, and I apologize. That you weren't necessarily overly enthused about public sector unions, but you thought the trade unions had some real benefit to the conservative movement. That being said, in downstate Illinois, all over the state, in all portions of the state, but I would say probably more heavily concentrated in downstate. Aaron is a very, very typical downstate conservative. He's a veteran. He's very conservative in his social views. He's very conservative in his fiscal views. He works for the state of Illinois. They have a veterans preference hiring program. He got a job with the state of Illinois. He's a member of AFSCME because guess what? Guys like, he and I have had conversations over the last year or two. And as he has said to me, I wasn't altogether sure about whether I should pay the dues or not. But once Bruce Rauner came along, it really proved to me between Pat Quinn. So think about this, and I want everyone to think about this, regardless of what your political leanings are. 4 years ago, total Democratic control. Pat Quinn was governor, Madigan was Speaker of the House, Cullerton was President of the Senate. Who was going after the pensions at that time? It was them. It was the total Democratic control, legislative and executive branch that were going after the public sector pensions. The public sector unions were fighting them daily. Now we have Bruce Rauner. So what guys like Aaron know is that if they didn't have collective bargaining, they really would be up the creek. And then what I would like other folks listening to think about is, you really think you're going to get something with Pritzker? Think back 4 short years ago. Was it the pension python?
Squeezy, the pension python. Sure, I miss Squeezy terribly.
The last time the Democrats, the Chicago Democrats, had total control of the governor's office and the legislative branch, they were the ones coming after your pension. They were the ones coming after you. They're the ones who withheld your raise that you had to go to court to fight for, that you just now getting. We offer a real option for all working people, whether you're union or non-union, public sector or private sector, blue collar, white collar, gray collar, retired, aspiring. If you're a working person, we're for you. And in my humble opinion, that should be the mantra of the Republican Party. The Republican Party wants nothing to do with that because they've been bought out by the billionaire class. So now we're going to form the new Conservative Party and carry that winning message straight to victory on November the 6th.
All right. He is Sam McCann, a state senator who's running for governor under the Conservative Party banner, filed yesterday. The website, McCannforIllinois.com. One slight correction, just in terms of our conversation at the Holiday Inn back in Litchfield back in the day. What I said was I wasn't going to prioritize right to work because I don't think the ground had been made fertile for it, and because I do think the Republican Party needs to do a better job of reaching out to trade unionists in this state. And frankly, Rauner proved that the ground wasn't fertile for it when he went on his right to work resolution gambit as his first order of business as governor, and he destroyed a lot of his political capital by doing so. So there's an art to politics as well, and that's something else that Rauner turned out not to be a good practitioner.
Yeah, and I respect that. I wasn't trying to.
No, I understand. I just want to clarify. Yeah. State Senator Sam McCann, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Amy. God bless you. I appreciate it.
And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Do you want your basement to be dry most of the time? If so, Permaseal is not the company for you. At Permaseal, we believe your basement should be dry all the time, no matter how hard it rains. Hi, I'm Roy Spencer, president of Permaseal. I hear story after story of homeowners who say their basement only leaks when it rains. Well, you don't worry about your living room or bedroom getting wet when it rains, and you should feel the same way about your basement. Just call 800-421-SEAL. We offer a free estimate, no haggle pricing, and a price assurance guarantee, so you can rest assured that you're getting the best value. Your basement is already dry most of the time, but if you want your basement dry all the time, you know who to call. 800-421-SEAL. Permaseal has earned an A+ rating from the BBB and has received their 2016 Torch Award for Marketplace Ethics. That's 800-421-SEAL or visit permaseal.net.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO of Wesley Financial Group and timeshare cancellation advocate. I was sued by the largest timeshare company in federal court for simply helping people.
786-9300.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I went from being able to work 14, 16 hours a day with no problem to where I could barely walk a block to the store. I went on to the phytonutrients about 6 months ago, and within a couple of months, my medical doctor had cut my prescriptions down in a little bit smaller dosage. The next time I went back a month later, I walked into the doctor's office and he says, "My gosh, what's happened to you? You don't even look like the same person." He looked at my legs and the swelling had gone down. My blood pressure was down. The venous stasis ulcers that I had had on my legs for the last 4 or 5 years because of the poor circulation were all healed, and I'm feeling far better.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
There's always that time of day when the sun creates havoc at the office.
This is ridiculous.
You're literally blinded by the light. Can't see a thing on your computer monitor and feel like you're baking in an oven. Make your office or storefront distraction-free with custom shades from 1-800-4BLINDS. You'll keep your customers comfortable, protect furnishings and decor from fading, and have happy, productive employees that don't have to stop in the middle of a project because of the glare. 1-800-4BLINDS can get the job done quickly with their local in-house installation crew. You'll save money on window treatments that not only look great, but will also help you shrink utility bills with special heat-reducing shades that can trap heat between the window and shade. They also offer custom painted solar shades with your logo or photo image printed directly on the shade. Get the sun out of your eyes. Call 1-800-4BLINDS direct for a consultation today. 773-447-5448 or visit 1-800-4BLINDSchicago.com. That's 1-800-4BLINDSchicago.com.
Are you happy with what's looking back at you in the mirror? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we'd like to help you with that smile. Whether you're looking to fix 1 or 2 teeth or a whole smile makeover, we can take care of all your dental needs. We have a beautiful modern facility and a great staff. And most importantly, we love what we do. That's what sets us apart from other offices. Let's face it, a dental office is not everyone's favorite place. Whether you're 2 or 102, we make it fun and enjoyable. We perform all types of dentistry as well. Fillings, root canals, crowns, extractions, dentures, implants. We do most everything right in our office. And for you denture wearers, we have a full in-house denture lab and can perform repairs and relines while you wait. We can also talk about adding implants so your denture will snap into place or become screw retained. This is the closest option to natural teeth. We are conveniently located in Gurnee at the corner of Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. So make today the day you give us a call. 847-244-4000. That's 847-244-4000. Or visit us on the web at gurneedds.com. We look forward to seeing you, and remember, second opinions are always free. Excellence in dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
What's happening? What does it mean? Why is it important? We've got The Answer. AM 560. The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
President Trump says Democrats want open borders and don't mind crime. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
It's the party of Maxine Waters. Do you believe her?
Those boos at a rally last night in South Carolina as the president referred to the Democratic congresswoman who's calling on people to protest his cabinet members. Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen heard chants while out at dinner last week. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders was refused service at a restaurant, and demonstrators picketed outside advisor Stephen Miller's home.
Let's be honest. I mean, the president has not embodied civility at all.
House Democrat Tim Ryan, though, does not support the protesters' conduct.
I think it's inappropriate for any of us to condone any kind of political harassment.
The president also said last night again, illegal immigrants should be sent back immediately.
I don't want judges. I want ICE and Border Patrol agents.
But his administration's policy's been altered for now. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
Customs and Border Patrol has stopped the practice of turning over parents to prosecutors for charges of illegally entering the country. In addition, federal prosecutors say they will no longer bring criminal charges against parents entering the U.S. if they have their child with them. But White House spokeswoman Sarah Sanders stressed that the administration's reversal was only temporary because the government is running out of resources. The administration says more than 500 children separated from their parents have now been reunited. Dave?
John, also last night, the president rallied for South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster, who's facing a Republican primary runoff today.
Henry was there at the beginning. He's a fighter. He's tough. He's strong.
There are also primary contests in 6 other states today.
No justice! No peace!
That stopped traffic in downtown Pittsburgh during morning rush hour. Another protest over Antoine Rose's death. He was shot by police a week ago, running from a traffic stop. Police say they believe that car was involved in a shooting. Guns were found inside. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Gray skies, rain on the way, and maybe some thunderstorms. 67 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Customs and Border Protection will no longer be recommending prosecution for people who illegally cross the border with children. Here in Chicago, that could mean fewer being able to see agency commissioners and the temporary stoppage of prosecutions in this state stemming from the president's executive order last week ending the separation of families. Chicago police are investigating after at least 6 were shot in the Bronzeville neighborhood. Authorities say the victims were in the 3900 block of Vincennes Avenue last night when someone opened fire. No arrests have been made. Authorities are investigating a hit-and-run crash over the weekend that killed a local high school softball coach in Oswego. Investigators believe the driver took off after striking Amanda Stanton Sunday near Plainfield Road and Plainsman's Court. Stanton was the head softball coach at Oswego High School for the past 3 years. The race for Illinois governor could soon be a bit more crowded. Independent candidates filed their campaign paperwork yesterday. West Central Illinois State Senator Sam McCann filed as a newly created Conservative Party candidate. Libertarian Cash Jackson also filed his signatures yesterday. Cubs fell to the Dodgers in L.A. 2-1. White Sox welcomed the Twins to town tonight for the start of a 3-game set. It's 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network, here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, newspaper publisher Lee Enterprises will be managing Berkshire Hathaway's newspapers in 30 markets, including the Winston-Salem Journal and the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Berkshire will still own its BH Media newspaper unit. General Electric plans to focus on its power business. The Wall Street Journal says GE will spin off its healthcare unit and sell off its ownership in oil service business Baker Hughes. 5 types of ladders sold at Home Depot are being recalled because they can break while people are using them. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the telescoping ladders are made by Werner Company. Home Depot says return them immediately for a refund. The Dow dropped 328 yesterday on trade concerns. NASDAQ was down 160. S&P lost 37. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
It's 8:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
I've been suffering from depression for about 45 years. I've probably been on...
Here, you can make real progress in the battle with depression. Cure or remission. Get a free consultation. 800-604-0208. 800-604-0208. HPR Centers. Go to endmydepression.com. End your depression.
When working at a growing business, you wear many hats. The new business hat, the buying toner for the copy machine hat, the sifting through tons of resumes hat. You can throw away that last hat thanks to Indeed.com. When posting your job, Indeed lets you add screener questions that give you a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates. So go ahead, dust off that extra long lunch hat. Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
You don't remember days, you remember moments. But when the old tapes and photos that hold your cherished memories degrade, or worse, you lose them, they're gone forever. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger. We started Legacy Box to help you preserve those irreplaceable moments.
Load your Legacy Box with your old tapes, film, pictures, and audio, and send them in. You'll get them back on DVD or a convenient thumb drive.
Visit legacybox.com/USA. And for a limited time, you'll get 40% off your order. legacybox.com/USA.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Who is Joe Donnelly really working for? As a U.S. Senator, we pay him $174,000 a year. So, Donnelly's taxpayer-funded salary is almost 3 times more than a typical Hoosier family makes. But that wasn't enough for Donnelly. Donnelly took more on Mexico Joe.
17 minutes to Montrose and 38 to the airport. Eden's 19 minutes, Lake Cook to Junction. Up at it's 30. Eisenhower, an hour and 5 minutes, 390 to downtown. 40 minutes from Manheim, up on 47 to 390. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, up on 44. On Ryan, 45 minutes, 95th to downtown. Earlier outbound Kennedy Crash Division. I-57 jammed, 167th past Kedzie with rollover in the 2 left lanes. Bishopford is fine as an alternate. Southbound Tri-State slow, 132 to 176. Northbound Southwest Highway to 31st. Reagan toward the Bensenville Bridge. 53 has delays in both directions with a crash on the northbound side of Kirchhoff. Traffic Service, Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America, inviting you to take steps for cures at a walk event near you. Support the 1.6 million Americans living with these diseases. cctakesteps.org. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM560, The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. You know how the CPS sex abuse scandal is over because Irish Ed Burke set up a hotline in his ward.
Oh, that's right.
For people to lodge anonymous complaints. Finally, some real action. Well, Chicago violence is coming to an end. It's, I'm happy to report, it's under 2 weeks away because on July 7th of 2018, buses shall leave St. Sabina Parish at 9:30 a.m.
Oh, no.
They will arrive at 79th and the Dan Ryan at 9:45 a.m. They will shut down the Dan Ryan.
Oh, on a Saturday when everybody, is going to their Michigan homes. Okay.
They will shut down the Dan Ryan to protest and ostensibly end Chicago violence. Thank you, Father Michael Flager from the Archie cartoon series.
They're going to put themselves in peril and shut down the main artery into and out of the city.
Here's the only thing that I think that Father Flager in particular may not have contemplated. So I just want to throw this out there. I appreciate that he is ending Chicago violence. I thought that the midnight vigils would do it.
Well, what about the midnight basketball?
I thought that would do it. I thought the bullhorn at the Thompson Center would do it. I think this is going to do it. I think this is the one. But here's the thing he's not thinking about, I think. If I see Father Flager on the Dan Ryan, do I slow down?
You can never hit somebody. You're always to blame. Pedestrians always have the right of way. But here's the thing.
Pedestrians have the right of way on the Dan Ryan?
Not on the Dan Ryan. That's why you don't see bikes. There's no cycling lanes on the Dan Ryan. But here's the thing.
I don't see any crosswalks.
If somebody gets shot, just saying, what if? Because that rarely happens. Dan Ryan is a main thoroughfare to get to a Trauma 1 level center, Christ Hospital, because that's on 95th Street. But if you block off the Dan Ryan, it's 79th there or 74th. That's a bit of a problem.
Well, that's a good point. I hadn't even contemplated that. I'm sure Flager hasn't either because, of course, he's just a virtue signaling demagogue hack.
What if there's a fire, and that's the quickest way to get to the fire? And then you've got people in the Dan Ryan Expressway. They should shut that down before that even begins. They should stop the buses at St. Sabina.
Should they shut down the shutdown of the Dan Ryan? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Will you be joining Father Flager?
No, they should all get tickets and be thrown in jail.
Will you be joining Father Flager to lie down in the Dan Ryan as the means to end Chicago violence? Or will you be with Amy protesting St. Sabina and asking the Chicago police to shut down the shutdown?
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. What would you do, Dan? Are you with me or are you with Flager?
I'll be at my Michigan home.
Oh, is it? But you can't get to your Michigan home unless you take. No. Well, yeah, no.
Well, or
unless
you leave early. Unless you leave before 9:30.
Yeah, but I mean, if you've been on the Dan Ryan on a Saturday, I have. It's packed with cars.
Yeah, especially July 4th weekend.
I know.
People are going to be, bouncing around traveling. All right.
No, they'll make sure you don't have fun on the 4th of July weekend.
By the way, Amy has a musical tribute to this effort by Father Flager, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that. I know you enjoyed my musical stylings yesterday with the...
Yours was so awful, my ears were bleeding.
I've gotten a lot of reaction to my performance, and that's the important thing is the audience feedback, which I enjoy. I did a rendition of the Canadian national anthem in celebration of their marijuana legalization, meaning the first G7 country to legalize marijuana, and my lyricist, the captain to my Tennille, Rob Badgley, sent in some new lyrics. You've got lyrics from Mike from the North Side.
Yeah, I got a little ditty here.
All right.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to do it now.
No, we're gonna do it.
Not
You better
right
warm
now.
up.
Paula Clark's Downtown, and he changed the words to reference all the violence that's going on.
Bill in Lincoln Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yes, I wonder how the Teamsters are going to take that for their trucks being held up, and we sort of know who backs up the Teamsters.
Okay, thanks for the call, Bill.
You're on notice.
Well, the other thing is true. You could stop, get out of the car, and, pull people over to the side of the road if they're going to play dead.
Addressing violence.
It's a die-in on the Dan Ryan. Like you've seen the die-ins, the Black Lives Matter die-ins. It's a die-in on the Dan Ryan.
That is so irresponsible.
It's alliterative.
What kind of crime is it? That's a crime. They should be, everyone who throws himself out there should be ticketed.
Father Flager doing something irresponsible? Jeez, that doesn't sound like him. Tom in Deer Park.
Oh, Father Flager, you've been at it for 30 years. You vexed Cardinal Bernardine, you vexed Cardinal George, and now you got a cardinal that's right on board with you. So, it really fits into the leftist narrative, and it's all about you, Father Flager. And I just wish you'd stop. You're an embarrassment to the Catholics.
He is an embarrassment. Thanks for the call, Tom. He should have been defrocked long ago. And also, too, just in terms
he makes money.
The community leaders, right? These are our longtime civic leaders. He's a much a part of the power structure in the city as the Cornish Democrats that run it. So how's Father Flager's record? How's it been going? They're reducing violence, increasing the peace on the streets, especially around St. Sabina. What's happened around St. Sabina over the last 30 years, Father?
His heart's in the right place. I'm not a Father Flager basher, but this is not the way to get your message across.
The road to hell and good intentions. Bob in Midway, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, Dan and Amy. How you doing?
Good.
You're giving him don't call him Father. He's a phony priest. I don't know what he is, but this has been going on forever with him. His marches, this and that. What is that? What is that going to do? Blocking the Dan Ryan? What is? I have no idea.
He's asking for 1,000 people to join him. Again, at 10 a.m., they're going to walk down the northbound entrance ramp at 79th Street and walk about 1.5 miles. Oh, my gosh. Before exiting at Marquette Road, 67th Street.
Yeah, right.
It's incredibly stupid.
1.5 miles.
Actually, what they should do is when he comes out there, the paddy wagon should pull up, and they should just throw him in the back of it and drive him away because that's where he belongs. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, and it's called Enough is Enough Peace Now. You can go to their stsabina.org and get all the details. Really, they should sit there armed. Police should be armed, as they always are. The police should be arm in arm, too, like physically, and make sure that they do not get on that northbound exit ramp.
Yeah. Do you think this parade is going to end the violence? Do you think? The protest?
No. And they're actually putting their lives in danger by walking down the Dan Ryan because there's a lot of expressway shootings lately.
John in Lombard, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, man has been fighting man for 10,000 years now. And I stand here and I declare down with violence. I didn't know it was that easy. We can all live in peace now.
All right, thanks, John. Appreciate that. That's the Father Flager approach. Maybe a novelty T-shirt to memorialize the protest. That'll help, too. Because it makes a real front and center, really raises the consciousness of the public. But 56 shootings a weekend, 1,300 shootings so far, almost 300 murders so far this year. That does it. But Father Flager's little march is going to do it. Okay. Bill in LaSalle County.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for taking my call. I think maybe we ought to hand them shovels and blacktop patch, or just have them fill in the potholes with their bodies.
Well, that's a good idea. Make use. Thanks for the call, Bill. Make the time productive. That's public service.
Or they could, pick up the garbage along the shoulder of the road.
They could do that too.
Some tailpipes I saw over there that Saturday.
There's potholes though too that need to be fixed.
Not as bad as some other expressways, but okay.
The whole city's falling apart. The whole place is going to hell.
Yeah, right.
Perry and Niles, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi. This is what he's doing. He's competing with the crime that's always leading the news.
Mm-hmm.
So how does he bring attention to all this crime when it's already like 5 shootings and then an arson and a hit and run? Why doesn't he just go home and let the crime lead the news?
He's committing a crime by bringing 1,000 people onto a main thoroughfare, an expressway.
Thanks for the call, Perry.
Shutting it down.
That's
a crime.
This is him feeling good about himself. He's a leftist. He's a virtue signaler. He's a demagogue. This is what they do. He's not a solutionist. He's not looking to solve the problem. He's looking to have people look at him and celebrate how much he cares about the problem.
And everyone keep calling in so I don't have to sing. 312
No, we'll cut into Gallagher if necessary.
Oh, look at the time.
Dan in Evanston.
Oh, hi. Yeah, just to join the party here, I would think a good idea perhaps is to have a sit-in, a human log jam surrounding St. Sabina's parking lot in protest of demagoguery.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks for the call, Dan. We could do a die-in in the parking lot of St. Sabina in front of the buses.
Oh, to stop them from...
You can make up the T-shirts.
What?
Stop St. Sabina's
crime.
Die-in. The die-in to stop the die-in.
But that's one thing I can't stand about protesters from being a reporter for 18 years. They always seem to block the wrong streets where ambulances need to get through to, say, Northwestern Memorial Hospital. And, they don't think about other people. That's my that's my point of contention.
Imagine that. Don in Arlington Heights.
Good morning, everybody. I'm a Roman Catholic in Arlington Heights at St. James. If Father Flagler wants to march, apply for a parade permit and come up Western Avenue. If not, you should be arrested and spend Saturday night in county jail. Have a nice day, everybody.
All right, thanks, Don.
It's true. I'm with him.
Pat in Lockport.
Public safety issue.
Hello?
Hey, Pat, you're on.
Yes, I would like to say, instead of blocking the traffic and inconveniencing a bunch of people, Father should get himself up in the pulpit and start preaching about the sanctity of the family and the role that fathers and mothers play so that these kids who are joining gangs have a feeling of belonging and being loved. And heaven forbid those children with a woman should all have the same father. My God, what an original concept. That's where the problem lies. I'm sorry, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Pat. It's fair. Ann in Chicago.
Oh, thanks for taking my call, and good morning. Yes, I wanted to tell Father Flagler that there's bodies overflowing in the morgue. It's our duty as Catholics, as Christians, to bury the dead. Why isn't he, people are murdered and then they're thrown like a piece of trash. They have to be buried, and he should be the first one to exercise the burial. He should give him a dignified burial.
All right, bring out your dead. Thanks for the call, Ann. I'm not dead. All right.
Okay. Oh, look at the time.
All right, no, we've gotten Justin has carved out some time for you. So, in honor of this topic that we're talking about in Chicago violence, let's cue it up and let's see if Amy does a better job with downtown than I did with the Canadian national anthem. I doubt it.
Okay, this is
all right.
I'm just warning you.
Lyrics by Mike from the North Side.
When you're alone, you're better off staying home. Don't you ever come downtown. Don't make the jury. You'll wind up in a gurney. It is not safe to come downtown. Avoid all the traffic and all the crime involved. You will lose your wallet and your iPhone on MagMile. What can you do? The crime is much higher here. Wait, crime is here. You don't stand a chance, cause Rom, he don't care. Don't come downtown. You are not safe. Oh, boy. I can't read this next line. Blank, 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 blank.
Of course, Mike on the north side.
Gangbangers waiting for you.
Are we talk singing now? Come on, this is a train wreck.
This is god awful.
I like some of those lyrics. Come on, keep going. Pick it up. This is your one audition.
Downtown, you'll get nickeled and dimed by the darn city council. Downtown, protect your wife and daughter. The police have no power. Don't get pushed in the water or beaten up at Water Tower. Happy Rom, don't come downtown. You are not safe. Life ain't fair, and Rom just don't care when you're down.
Nice run. Now we got it.
Down. I don't want to see the rest. Come on, Dan, jump in. Downtown. The bangers are waiting for you. All right, we just gotta stop. I'm exhausted.
So here's what I would say, and I think our listeners will agree with me.
I should have practiced.
You're
slightly
slightly better singer than I am. Slightly better.
I was off. It was pitchy.
But my guy Rob Badgley is a better lyricist than Mike from the North Side. Although he had a couple of good couplets in there. Yeah.
You see those guys do a drive-by in a pimped-out Range Rover, you'll be bleeding out there, too, before your trip is over. Happy, Rom? The crime is much worser here. Don't bother dialing 911 because, Rom, he just don't care.
911 is a joke in your town. Mike on the North Side, of course, the founder of the LGBT party, the Love, Guns, Bacon, and Trump party. Thank you for that contribution to the show.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
When I hear realtors boast about servicing a 3-county area or selling a home every 15 minutes, I think, what level of service could their clients possibly be getting? This is Chris Jacobs with Century 21 affiliated in Inverness, and my message is a little bit different. If being a realtor for more than 20 years has taught me one thing, it's that all real estate is local. While I can't say I'm the #1 realtor in the country, I can tell you that over the past 10 years, I've sold more homes in Inverness than anyone else. My team specializes in Inverness, Palatine, and Arlington Heights. We pride ourselves on providing our clients exceptional customer service and local market knowledge. So if you're selling your home or looking to purchase a property in our area, then call me, Chris Jacobs, at 847-401-4859. That's 847-401-4859. Or visit us at chrisjacobshomes.com.
Each office independently owned and operated. An equal housing opportunity.
Got to bounce back after that. It's Petula Clark, Mike, from the North Side, not Paula Clark.
You two really need to spend more time in the studio together.
We do. Hey, your kids won't be thinking about school very much this summer, but it's a perfect time for you to think about where you'll be sending your child back to school this fall. More and more parents are thinking about private school, and maybe that's you. Well, private school has never been more affordable thanks to our good friends at halfpriceschools.com, where you can find tuition vouchers for private schools across the Chicagoland area at half off the normal price. There is no catch. It's simple. Just go to halfpriceschools.com, see a school you like. There's St. Paul Lutheran School in Aurora, Midwestern Christian Academy in Chicago. The list goes on and on. But don't delay. Summer won't last forever, and school will be starting again before you know it. Visit halfpriceschools.com today. And just know that many of these vouchers have already sold out, so do not wait. Halfpriceschools.com. That's halfpriceschools.com.
One of the least glamorous pieces of the puzzle in a construction or home improvement project is getting rid of the waste. It's definitely the last thing contractors or homeowners want to deal with, but it's a necessity. Getting affordable dumpster service quickly to a construction site can be difficult, but it doesn't have to be. For hassle-free dumpster service, contact Midwest Companies. They're focused on dumpster services that will help keep your project safe, clean, and on schedule. Midwest Companies takes care of contractors in need of a dumpster that's strong enough for heavy material and the homeowner doing a home improvement project, garage, basement, foreclosure, or estate clean-out. For a company that's built a great reputation with local contractors and residents by providing fast, efficient dumpster service at a competitive price, consult with Midwest Companies for a no hidden fee quote. For new customers and a limited time, get $50 off your first service. Midwest Companies. Online at mwcompanies.com. mwcompanies.com.
The reviews pouring in to Amy's rendition of Downtown. 773, Amy, that was beautiful. I'm weeping.
You can just call my agent.
708, much better than Profs. Profs was never in a high school band. That's
or
true.
show choir.
That's true.
Jazz hands.
I was a burnout.
No, you were a Dungeons and Dragons nerd.
Yeah, I was a dork.
But you also wore parachute pants and you brought cardboard with you because you were a break dancer.
That I was. That's true.
Did you have a rat tail, did you say? Or
No,
a
I
mullet?
did not have a rat
permed
tail.
mullet?
No, I did not.
A Tony or
No.
Ogilvy perm?
No, I did not.
Back there?
No, did not.
Remember
no,
business in the front, party in the back?
I remember. No partying. No business. Text me 447, Dan saying Amy is slightly better singer is like saying Mama Cass was slightly heavier than Michelle Phillips. All right. Gentlemen, June is Men's Health Month. Do you know your numbers? You may know your blood pressure and cholesterol, but do you know your testosterone and prostate numbers? I know mine. I went to Low T Center. They made it quick and easy. You know your results in about 20 minutes. At Low T Center, most health insurance is accepted. They'll even verify your insurance for you. Low T Center's physicians have been exclusively diagnosing and treating men for low testosterone for years. And in honor of Men's Health Month, Low T Center is offering a special testosterone and prostate level test for just $50. Take advantage of this offer, especially if you haven't met your deductible yet or have a high copay or simply don't have insurance. If you've noticed a decline in energy or motivation, you may have low testosterone.
I just got a text from my high school nurse. Amy, just like the old days, singing with a smile. Fun segment. Boom dog.
Yeah. I noticed she didn't compliment on the quality of the singing. Low T makes you feel tired and grumpy. It can raise your cholesterol and cause weight gain. Low T Center's experienced medical staff will educate you on the benefits and risks of testosterone replacement. So do what I did. Get your numbers checked. You owe it to yourself. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you, the number 312-239-3427. Call 312-239-3427 or go to lowtcenter.com.
Smokers, are you one of the millions of people who want to quit smoking because of health problems, expenses, or maybe you're just tired of the smell of smoke on your clothes and breath? Transform your life now with new Sig-Free Smartband. Sig-Free is an automated wearable smartband for smokers who want an all-natural, healthy, and affordable non-nicotine, non-invasive solution to quitting. Sig-Free is a technology-driven solution, freeing you from the dangers of smoking without doctor's exams or the side effects of drugs and nicotine replacement products. Just wear Sig-Free, answer your phone, and listen to your self-help messages. Your friends and family will love you for it, and they'll smell the difference. Become Sig-Free, and you can tell everyone, I morphed from a smoker to a healthier non-smoker.
For more information, go to imorphed.com. That's imorphed.com. IMORPHED.com. imorphed.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to talk civility in our politics with David French from National Review at 8:38.
And later, guess who was cast as Roger Ailes? Will surprise you. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
67 degrees, gray skies. We've had some rain showers lift through the area. Very heavy weather to the south of us. And there are more thunderstorm risks for later in the day as well. President Trump weighing in on Harley-Davidson's decision to move some of their production from Milwaukee to the European Union to avoid paying higher tariffs. The president saying he was surprised that Harley-Davidson, of all companies, will be the first to wave the, quote, white flag, end quote. President Trump's top immigration policy advisor is the latest administration member targeted by protesters. About 20 protesting the administration's zero-tolerance policy to stop illegal immigrants tried to march to Stephen Miller's apartment building in Washington yesterday.
Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here.
Miller didn't hear or see that protest because he was with the president at a rally in South Carolina. The Pawnee Fire in Northern California keeps burning out of control. The fire grew a lot yesterday, increasing its coverage. Now more than 10,000 acres in Lake County, California, only 5% contained. The partner of Chicago police officer Robert Rialmo is corroborating a key part of his account of the deadly shooting of Quintonio LeGrier. Officer Anthony La Palermo testified yesterday that LeGrier rushed at them with an aluminum bat, surprising them before Rialmo shot the teen on the west side in 2015. It was also announced yesterday that Rialmo withdrew his lawsuit against the city. Investigators are still not sure what brought down a small plane in a western Illinois field. FAA investigators continue to review the crash site about a mile north of the Monmouth Airport. And the Oasis Bridge that spanned the tri-state near O'Hare will likely be coming down in the near future after being up for more than 6 decades. The Tollway Board will consider at its Thursday meeting a plan to demolish the O'Hare Oasis in Schiller Park. Cubs fell to the Dodgers in L.A. 2-1. White Sox welcomed the Twins to town tonight. In the news, a service of Park Mobile, a smarter way to park. Before you drive into Chicago, make sure to reserve your parking spot with Park Mobile. Pick from over 100 garages all over the city and save up to 50% off drive-up rates. Download the Park Mobile app to save time, frustration, and money. Park Mobile is a smarter way to park. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher. The Mike Gallagher Show.
This is the headline at CNN.com. Donald Trump is as popular as he's ever been, parentheses, in one poll. That's the CNN News headline. I've never seen a more biased headline. You know what that one poll is they're referring to? Oh, I don't know, a little organization called Gallup. Oh, my gosh. We are in Crazyville.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
It's 8:36. Let's get an update on your ride to work in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Michael. The rain is slowing the commute throughout the area. It's heavy on 80-94 in both directions, approaching Indianapolis Boulevard. 53 northbound at Stop and Go Higgins to Kirchhoff after a crash. Southbound delays are from Rand to Kirchhoff. On the Veterans Memorial Tollway, southbound delays. The Army Trail in Roosevelt northbound from Fountain to St. Charles. The Army Trail toll to 290. Tri-State southbound, slow 21 to 60. Northbound Southwest Highway to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge, Reagan Tollway jammed 31 to Yackley. Hayden's is 22 minutes, Lake Hook Junction, outbound 36. Kennedy, an hour. O'Hare to downtown, a little quicker than the Express, outbound 48 minutes. Eisenhower, an hour and 6 minutes, 390 to downtown, 42 minutes from Manheim, outbound 53 minutes to 390. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 44. The Ryan is 40 minutes, 95th to downtown. Traffic answers when you need them most. Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Thunderstorms have been training across the entire state from the Metro East all the way up here to the Wisconsin border. Some of those storms have been severe, and we'll see them popping up on and off throughout the day. A high near 80. Scattered storms expected through the evening. Low 68. Currently 67. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. The Civil War is already upon us, guys. It's been upon us for a while. We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I'm not sure the Civil War is upon us quite yet, but getting a little tense, and we're having putative, substantive discussions around questions like, should Sarah Sanders be allowed to exist in civil society without harassment? I'm not kidding. This was the deep thinkers on Morning Joe that batted this one around, including, of course, because she's a journalist, objective NBC journalist Elise Jordan.
Yeah.
She.
I'm not very familiar with her work.
She tried to answer the question whether Sarah Sanders belongs in civil society, and she's leaning against it.
And even that Sarah Sanders had over the weekend, which is a absolutely legitimate problem, but who cares?
But it goes back to the anger over plenty of Americans know that they are being lied to constantly, and they want the truth. And should someone who lies constantly and enables the president's lies be openly welcomed in society wherever they please? Should they face any kind of social or societal pressure? I'm increasingly weighing towards yes, even though I'm all about civility.
Sure.
But I do
Of
think
course.
that there are choices, and Sarah Huckabee Sanders has made her choices, and she has decided to constantly give false information from that podium to the American taxpayers who are paying her salary. Donald Trump has chosen to do that. Facts matter. The context that we present the facts matter. And this is not going away because we have thousands of children who've been separated from their parents, and we don't even know the full magnitude of it.
Council on Foreign Relations President Richard Haass was part of that panel, and he provided what constitutes pushback on that program, saying this about the trajectory of the country per the Sanders incident.
What happened the other day violates the spirit of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And what it doesn't mean we shouldn't be focusing on other things which are inherently more important. I hear you. But it just seems to me, one, besides that, it's politically counterproductive.
Totally.
I think your point's the big point. This is a descent of America into tribalism. And this is dangerous. One of the things we should have learned the last year and a half is we can't take things for granted in this country.
Right.
We should not take for granted the fact that this has essentially been a peaceful democracy, and our differences have never gotten bigger than what we could handle in a peaceful way. This is the sort of thing that makes me uneasy about some of the trajectory of this country.
Yeah, I mean, things have never gotten bigger that we couldn't handle them in a peaceful way. I mean, except for the Civil War. But for more on this topic and to answer the question, should we clean out the family detention centers and put all the political flacks who lie for their bosses into them?
Right.
Internment camps for lying political flacks to increase the civility and ostensibly the peace, per Maxine Waters. We're pleased to be joined by David French, writer at National Review, constitutional lawyer, author, veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom. David, thanks for being with us again. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
So what about that? Should Sarah Sanders be the first sent off to the gulag for not telling the public the whole truth?
You know, I had this bizarre world experience yesterday when I was debating somebody on NPR about this very issue. And the point I made was, look, you can march, you can vote, you can sue, you can tweet, you can Facebook, you can raise money or send money to the people that are doing all of those things. But, you know, when you cross the line into personal, and now the story is that it wasn't so polite that Sanders was asked to leave, and apparently, according to her dad anyway, the owner then chased her across the street and started berating the people, berating the folks she was with at the next restaurant they attended. But when you cross the line and you're doing like what happened to Sarah Sanders, apparently now not just being asked to leave, but getting heckled, Kirsten Nielsen getting heckled directly, personally, and even outside her home, Pam Bondi, 3 large men get inches from her face and start screaming at her. She's the Attorney General of Florida. I said, when you're crossing that line, you're doing 2 things. One, you're creating a dangerous situation, because I'm sorry, when people get up in your personal space and they're furious and they're angry, that creates danger. That's tense. It creates danger. And then the other thing you're doing as you're creating these dangerous situations, which could spiral into violence, is you're creating a dangerous situation for the state of our country, for the polarization of our country. And when I was saying this, the very next thing that people kept saying, you know, callers and others, well, they need to be opposed. They need to be opposed. And I said, well, did you not hear what I said?
Right.
You can march, you can vote, you can petition, you can sue. But when it starts to get this up close and personal, and this vicious up close and personal, that's dangerous. It's just flat out dangerous.
Well, calling for harassment, for Trump's cabinet members and people that surround themselves with President Trump, that's not American, and that's not who we are. But the left seems to claim that President Trump started this wave of uncivility.
Well, look, if they're going to say that Trump started it, that's just completely ignoring recent history. I mean, it wasn't Trump that started the way. And if they're even pinning it on, well, we're being aggressive to oppose Trump. Well, what about Charles Murray at Middlebury when he was physically attacked for trying to deliver a lecture about class divisions in the United States of America, or Heather McDonald, who faced physical violence trying to block people from hearing her speech at Claremont College in California, or Ben Shapiro facing physical violence in Los Angeles when he was trying to deliver a lecture in California. I mean, you can go down the line that this trend towards very personal, very vicious, very aggressive tactics did not start with Trump. And look, I'm no apologist for Trump on this point. I mean, especially in his rallies when he was a candidate, it was vicious, and some of his people and how they embraced the alt-right, like Steve Bannon, was inexcusable. So I'm no apologist for Trump here, but I'm sorry, the left doesn't get the excuse of saying, well, we were awesome until Trump came along and now it's special. No,
Yeah.
This is a problem that predated Donald Trump.
Well, your colleague in National Review, Kyle Smith, I thought had a good piece. It sort of is of a kind that Andrew Sullivan wrote a couple of months ago, I think, in the New Yorker about we all live on a college campus now. And that's the argument that Kyle Smith makes. He writes that when absolutely everything is political, it makes sense to harass your opponents while they eat. One of the most exhilarating aspects of youth is that everything matters so deeply. One of the rewards of adulthood is leaving campus urgency behind. So do we have sort of an arrested development problem in the American culture?
Yes. I mean, I think that that's absolutely the case. And I remember 20 years ago speaking, because I was working on trying to defend religious liberty and free speech in college campuses, and saying, this is a problem, this is a problem. And the answer I would constantly get back was, well, when these kids go into the real world, everything will be okay. And what if they change the real world? What if they leave college and change the real world? And so now what we see is entire industries are run essentially like they're, the Harvard faculty lounge. I mean, try being a conservative openly at Google in certain circumstances. Look at the ideological landscape in Silicon Valley. Look at the ideological landscape in much of the media. Look at the ideological landscape in Hollywood. The customs and manners and mores and habits of the campus activists have transferred fully into corporate America now. And of course, they're all over the place online. It's even worse online. And so, yeah, I think Kyle's piece was most definitely on point.
I wanted to, get your reaction to this. Norm Ornstein. All right, so this is not Maxine Waters. But here's one of the things I think Trump has provided in terms of maybe an unintended benefit, and I don't think this is the only one, but he has shown to me that there is not as much daylight between an AEI scholar, quote unquote, like Norm Ornstein, and someone like Maxine Waters. And I submit for evidence this reaction that Ornstein had to the Supreme Court's decision yesterday in a couple of gerrymandering cases in Texas and North Carolina. He said, I choose my words carefully. Alito, Roberts, Kennedy, Gorsuch, Thomas are the Bull Connors of jurisprudence. They are consciously bringing back Jim Crow. Clarence Thomas, who lived on the wrong side of Jim Crow, is bringing back Jim Crow because, as the Wall Street Journal editorial board opined on the decision by the court's opinion, the court's opinion reversed the opinion of the lower court, which was, in effect, the racial gerrymandering is constitutional as long as liberals are doing it. So apparently the Wall Street Journal editorial board also comprised of a bunch of Jim Crow cheerleaders. And by the way, I saw Norm Ornstein speak. He spoke to a group of civilians that attended the U.S. Army War College when I was there in 2009, and he gushed over Obama, as George Will did initially. And he couldn't have been proven more wrong by history. But I mean, the exposure of these jilted intellectuals who have adopted the rhetoric of the unhinged left, I think provides a service.
Well, it is pretty stunning to see the level, to see the lack of proportion, the lack of perspective, the lack of historical knowledge. I mean, here we have Nancy Pelosi last week was calling after Donald Trump reversed his course on child separation. After that, she was calling the policy of family detention child abuse. Well, that happened to be the policy of the Obama administration. And it was the policy of the Obama administration until the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals made them stop in 2016. So this is something that Obama was doing right up until the end of his presidency. And there were reasons for it, because you don't have good options absent family detention as to what to do to secure the border in any way, shape, or form. But now, once again, we're in a position where rhetoric is outpacing reality at a stunning rate. And it is really feeding on itself now, because one of the things about social media is that the more extreme you get, the more followers you're going to get, the more likes, the more retweets. And when that happens, it constitutes its own reward. It elevates your voice, it elevates your prominence. And so we're beginning to reach a point where people in the U.S. with some of the largest followings are being incentivized to constantly get more hysterical. And one of the things about this notion that, we're so frustrated and defeated and the only option we have is to get into somebody's face is so absurd. I mean, the checks and balances of this country still exist. And in fact, the policies that they've hated the most from Trump, the first edition of the travel ban, the child separation policy, those policies have actually been changed substantially or reversed entirely through the normal workings of the political system. And so this idea that we're in some sort of special case scenario where you can't, all the normal instruments of democracy aren't working, so what we now have to do is initiate vicious personal confrontations, it's wrong. It's completely wrong. The normal mechanisms of democracy and American checks and balances still work. There is no need to resort to these potentially violent confrontations.
He is David French, writer over at National Review, nationalreview.com, constitutional lawyer, author, and veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom. David, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
If you only go to one festival this summer, this is the one your family cannot miss. Make plans to be at one of Chicagoland's favorite festivals, Eyes to the Skies, June 29th through July 1st. At Lyle Community Park, the Lyle Eyes to the Skies Festival has been entertaining folks for over 30 years, with morning and evening balloon launches, balloon glows, nightly fireworks, and live music on 2 stages. Plus, there's a carnival with rides, craft fair, huge kids area, and over 50 unique food vendors. Ever wonder what riding in a hot air balloon feels like, but we're a bit nervous? Try a tethered balloon ride and take some stunning pictures from this incredible view. Make plans now for the Lyle Eyes to the Skies Festival at Lyle Community Park, June 29th through July 1st. Admission is just $10 with kids under 8 free. See eyes-to-the-skies.org for locations of free parking and shuttle service, complete balloon launch schedule, and all the info you'll need for an awesome weekend. Don't miss the Lyle Eyes to the Skies Festival at Lyle Community Park, June 29th through July 1st.
Oh, it's spectacular. The MyPillow mattress topper. It has 3 unique layers of comfort. Supports your body weight, helps relieve those pressure points, and keeps your body temperature regulated all night, not too hot or too cold. Don't wait to get yours, because in June, there's not many days left in June, you'll save 30% plus when you buy that mattress topper at a discount. You will also receive 2 free standard MyPillows. That's a great offer. 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off the mattress topper. or get one low price on 2 MyPillows and receive free shipping. But you have to use the promo code Amy. There's a 10-year warranty, 60-day satisfaction, money-back guarantee. So go online or call now for these great deals, including 30% off pet beds, sheets, and much more. Call 800-489-0201, promo code Amy, or visit MyPillow.com. Those sheets, I have to tell you, I have Egyptian cotton sheets, and I cannot tell the difference between the two. So go to MyPillow.com, get those sheets as well. Promo code Amy or call 800-489-0201.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that use Balance of Nature as well.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. I take Balance of Nature because I know, I've seen it in my lab, and I know that it works. I've seen the immune response increase, I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection. And that, to me, as a scientist, rings so true.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. I don't think Plato had former CIA Director General Michael Hayden's tweet comparing Trump immigration policy to the Birkenau death camp at Auschwitz in mind when he conceived of the Noble Lie. Nor would Plato likely place under the Noble Lie header the D.C. Press Corps' magical storytelling about a 2-year-old Time magazine cover girl who was separated from her father in Honduras by her mother, but never separated from her mother by Border Patrol or anyone named Trump, not even Peter Fonda's nemesis Barron. The lies told by elites these days are intended to foment social unrest, not cohesion. The ignoble truth is that today's elites cover their tracks by feeding the public supersized whoppers to stunt their appetites for edifying information and dull their attention spans. Never mind that the fix was in at FBI. See Trump's criticism of Comey as a veiled predicate to martial law. Never mind that family separation was not new policy at the border and that only the enforcement of it was new. Instead, understand this as an existential battle not for border security, but against bigotry. In other news, Paul Manafort has pled guilty to a violent crime for which he was not charged. ABC News reports.
Hi, I'm Jim Van Ham with Strategic Financial Group. With the new tax law, charitable gifting will be more complicated than ever before. We're your experts in charitable gifting, and we can help you stretch your donations to worthy causes like Giant Steps. Now, with more, here's my friend Dr. Sylvia Smith.
Thanks, Jim. Giant Steps takes pride in providing a holistic and innovative approach to programming for individuals with autism. As students turn 22, government support stops and the options for programs become limited. This is why our Canopy Adult Day program needs your support to continue our mission of preparing adults with autism for a fulfilled and productive life. To donate, visit mygiantsteps.org. Again, that's mygiantsteps.org.
Thank you, Dr. Smith, for creating such a nurturing environment for young adults with autism. To find out how to stretch your contributions, please go to stgfin.com. That's stgfin.com.
Hey guys, Ken here from the Business Accelerator podcast, Today's Growth. If you had to choose a vehicle to take you up the rocky side of a mountain, would you choose a Ferrari or a Jeep? The Ferrari's faster, cooler, maybe even sexier, but if you have to get to the top, the Jeep's a better bet. I think we can agree getting to the top is not about the driver, it's the vehicle. Have you noticed people often pick their financial vehicle like they pick their cars? Washington Post shared that only 1 out of 4 people choose a job that uses their college degree. Why? Simple. Something more immediate, maybe cooler, maybe even sexier came along first. Shouldn't the main deciding factors for revenue generation be production or output? Should the cool factor have any weight in choosing someone's income?
He knew exactly what the problem was. He put in a full basement drain tile system and an additional sub pump with a backup battery. Chicagoland Waterproofing gave us peace of mind. I like to say, in Gus we trust.
From simple sump pumps to complex storm drainage and crack foundation solutions, Chicagoland Waterproofing's work comes with a lifetime warranty. Plus, a fully licensed plumber is always on staff. Request your estimate today at ChicagolandWaterproofingPros.com or call 847-296-3500.
AM 560, The Answer.
So, the latest casualty in the rewrite of history, Laura Ingalls Wilder, the left-wing American Library Association, voted to remove her name from a children's book award over concerns how she portrayed Indians in her Little House on the Prairie stories.
Oh, my God. Are they going to take Little House on the Prairie reruns off of TV land now, too? Because we live in such a politically correct world.
I'm just glad Michael Landon long before went on the highway to heaven and is not here to see this. I understand they're going to rename the award in honor of somebody who celebrates Native Americans, Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, God. Also, too, Heather Locklear just checked into rehab in case you're wondering where your ex-girlfriend is. Yeah. And Russell Crowe is going to be playing Roger Ailes in the Showtime show. But now let's go into the newsroom with more important news. Here is Mike Scott.
Watch out for rain and thunderstorms crossing the state and the Chicago area today. The state sees plenty of new fake pot cases, and Cubs are clipped by the Dodgers. WIND Chicago News Time, 9 o'clock.